your degrees from, your undergraduate
South
degree?
Dakota State University.
Okay. The Bison?
No, the Jackrabbit.
Okay.
In Brookings.
And how about your master's degree? Where are you working on that?
I'm not working on it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I did pass the EIT so that I could work
Gotcha.
for the state as a licensed engineer, but I haven't had a chance to do that. For many years, I worked as a contracting engineer. And then for the past 16 years, I've been working with Ritchie Engineering, where I met Sandy.
Okay. What does Ritchie Engineering do? Like, what do they manufacture?
What do we do? We do HVAC service equipment.
Okay.
Basically, we're the top tier of HVAC. We're like the top brand.
Well, I know people get mad when I do this. Do you know how much that man was making in 2009? Almost $8,000 a month. In 2009, you guys. Just off a little bit from 8,000.
And top brand for that is Yellow Jacket.
Okay. And is that for the parts?
The brand of yeah. Everything we make there, we make it under the Yellow Jacket brand.
Got it.
But the company name is Ritchie Engineering.
Okay.
So what I do everything from hoses, recovery machines, all the electronics. I talk to customers. I get business. I do the documentation, the design. It's a small company, so I like to do everything. Testing, evaluation, you name it.
Wow.
16 years over there, and that's not even scratching the surface.
Really?
I have bigger dreams now,
Yeah.
shattered, but anyway, I don't want to talk about them right now.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what happened. I just don't. I can't talk about it. I need to go one step at a time.
Yep. And if you have any questions along the way, Nick, just stop and ask me, okay? Or if you need to take a break, just.
How bad is it?
Well, can we get through this form and ask each other questions?
Yes.
I want to maintain the integrity of this investigation and your rights, and, so I want to get through this form, and then we can ask questions, okay? So I'm going to turn this around. I'll give you this pen. What I'll have you do is I'm going to read each. You seem to speak excellent English.
Yeah.
You can read.
Yeah, Miranda rights, which have not been read to me when I was put in the car. Is that right?
And that's okay. As long as they weren't asking you any questions, they don't need to.
Oh.
But I'd like to ask these questions, so that's why we're going to go through this right now, okay? So I'll let you have that pen, and so I'm going to read these to you, okay? Mm-hmm. You have the right to remain silent.
Or just
you can check mark it, or some people put their initials. We'll have you sign it at the bottom, so that's however you want to do that. Anything you say can be used against you in court or other proceedings. You have the right to consult an attorney before making any statement or answering any question, and you may have him or her present with you during questioning.
Okay.
And also, stop me, I talk kind of fast.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this one.
Okay.
So,
yep.
When do I see one? When do I get one assigned to me?
You would get one assigned to you, the soonest would be on Monday.
Oh.
So that would be the soonest. And
working hours,
yeah, pretty much is how that works.
Okay.
So if you cannot afford to pay for an attorney, you may be eligible to be represented by an attorney from the office of the state public defender. If you desire an attorney from that office, you should contact their local office.
And that information would be provided to me, or?
Yes. So what happens is the jail provides that information every day to the public defender's office. Like, here's who's on the list.
Okay.
So some people come into jail and they either have a lawyer already because of other things, or they know a lawyer, or they're going to find their own. So these guys will let you use the phone if that's
I'll ask Sandy to look for me.
Okay.
That's okay.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm not going to see you.
Yeah. Nope, that's fine. If you decide to answer questions now, with or without an attorney, you still have the right to stop the questioning at any time, or stop the questioning for the purpose of consulting an attorney.
Yeah, I'd like to do that at some point.
Okay. You can just check mark that. We went over that. However, you may waive the right to remain silent, and you may answer questions now without an attorney. You can just check mark that I read that to you. You're not agreeing to anything right now. This is just that I stated these things to you. So this says the above rights have been read to me. I have initialed each paragraph, or in your case, check mark, to show that I understand each of my rights. I have received a copy of this form. So you sign it, and then I'm going to sign it, Nick, and then I'm going to give you a copy of it. All right, I'll sign it here. And I've got 801. All right, do it like that. Okay.
Military time.
Sorry, do you want me to write it regular? Okay.
No.
I get so caught up in use of that.
Yeah.
My friends don't like it because in my vehicle, my own vehicle that I drive, it's military time, and so they're always asking me what time.
I have is military because I came from Europe. And
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They call it military, but it's not military. It's
Right. It's
the proper time.
exactly. Well, good. At least then you know what it means then when I put the time on there like that. So I would like to ask you questions about your day today. What happened? Like how you guys got to be on the Apple River today, and then like what your day was like.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you if you're willing to answer questions. If you decide that, yep, I'll answer questions right now, and in 10 minutes, you don't want to answer anymore, you just need to tell me that, okay? And if you don't want to answer questions right now, then that's fine too, and I will leave. It's up to you.
All I can say, it was self-defense. Self-defense, there were lots of people that came on to me. Self-defense, and they produced 2 weapons, one I took from them.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can tell. And they hit me, and they were on top of me, and I don't remember anything after that. I just remember I ran away. I ran away to my group. There were actually people coming over from my group to see what was going on. I said, nothing, just get back on. And they kept asking, and I said, nothing. I didn't explain to them anything because I was so fearful. I didn't know what these people were doing to us. I've never been in a situation like this, where people produce weapons and they were saying, they were calling.
What did he just say? They produced weapons. Okay, I want to tell you people, listen to his wording, how he's talking, not just here, but on the stand. Everything he's describing is everything he did too. Just saying. Remember, we were told that he lied. He didn't know that they had videotape of the what happened.
I don't remember, but they said, don't run from us, don't do this, you're a child molester, you're this. And I said, are you people drunk? Or you're a child molester. I said, the only thing I remember is, in my mind is, if I'm a child molester, should you be drinking? Should you be drinking alcohol and doing what you're doing to people that you don't even know, attacking them? And I said, if I'm a child molester, you should be having alcohol, And they took my, I was snorkeling, so they took my snorkel away. They threw it in the water. They grabbed my pants. One wanted to pull my pants down, and I grabbed onto him. And I don't know who that kid was, but he had a knife on him. And then there was another knife, a longer knife, looked like a kitchen knife. Kitchen or something, I don't know. And I don't know what happened to either one of them. I just know that when the kid attacked me, I took that from him.
The kitchen knife or the other
No,
knife?
the smaller knife.
Okay, what did that knife look like?
Oh God, he's such a liar. Oh my God. Okay, what else I want to say about this man? No, I want to say about Isaac. Isaac never once touched this man. Never once.
I don't even remember.
But it was smaller?
Smaller, yes.
Okay.
So, that's all.
How did you get to be by them? Or who are these people?
So, Ariel lost his phone.
Okay.
The phone was in the floor.
One of those bags that
Yeah,
they give you?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everyone had one, but his phone was in a floater, so he says, well, let's go look for it. So I put my snorkel on, and I looked, and this guy found something, and they were talking about it, and I said, okay.
This group of people?
This group of
Oh,
people,
gotcha.
yeah. I went over and I said, did you guys find the phone? And if you did, can I see it? Can I identify it? And they started calling me names. They got off of their tubes. They came at me. Like I said, all I need. And they were calling me all kinds of names, insulting me for being in the water with a snorkel. And I said, all I want, guys, did you find the phone? And I saw they had found something. All
Okay.
right. And I don't know if there was a phone or something else they found, but they wouldn't talk to me about what they found. And we were looking desperately to find this phone. And I know somebody found it, but I thought it was that group.
Okay.
You know, and then they went over, they came to me and they grabbed my snorkel and they threw it in the water. Well, the water was so fast, it went under. So I went out after it and they started, another group of mostly girls came over from the other side, yelling at me or calling me child molester and what something with something like that. And I went back. I actually after this incident, I don't even know what happened. I just know that they attacked me and I was in self-defense. I went into self-defense mode, and then I went over to my group of people. That was it. And they asked me what happened, and I wouldn't tell them. I said, I can't tell you. Let me calm down.
Okay.
I was shocked. So nobody on that knew exactly what happened. The only thing they said was, look, somebody got in an argument over there. Like, yep, let's just leave that alone. Don't go there.
Are you able to draw for me, like, where you were looking for the phone, like, and where was Ernesto and Sandy, and where was this group? Maybe help me kind of understand. Yep.
These guys were here. I don't know how many. There were quite a few.
Okay.
We were upriver about 100 feet. Our group was here. And
So you guys were in the water?
yes.
Okay.
So we were in the water. And then there was another group of people over here that came to attack me. So there was this group of people here, this group of people that attacked me. They attacked me here.
So your group was floating down the river like this?
Actually, we're stuck. But yes, this is the
That's the direction you were going. Okay. So your group is stopped.
Yeah.
And who's looking for the phone besides you? Like, how do you know the phone is missing?
Oh yeah, we talked about it. I yelled.
Oh, okay.
I lost my phone. And so, well, you didn't lose it. It's floating down the
Because it's
river.
in that bag.
Yeah, so let's go find it, you know. And he was over here pouting that he lost his phone, and I said, that's okay, I have my snorkeling gear. And then I heard this guy said that he found something. And when I was snorkeling down, I passed him. I kept looking, and then I came up, I came looking, and then they started yelling and screaming, and I said, did you guys find something? And I thought they did. And I know they did, because they were hiding something from me. And then I went over there and they grabbed my snorkel, they threw it down. They got off their tubes. They came after me, they pushed me. One of them hit me, and then there was a girl that came from here and hit me in the back of my head. And I was about right there.
You said right here?
When she hit me, yeah.
And that's when the female hit you?
Yeah. And she was coming from another group over here. I don't know how many people were in there. But
Were these guys stopped?
yes, in very shallow water.
Okay, so it's really shallow over here.
Shallow there.
Okay.
Pretty much the two sides are shallow. Yeah.
How deep do you think it was when you were like snorkeling around looking for the
Oh.
phone?
4 or 5 feet.
Okay.
Not very deep. and the water was very murky, so I could not see anything.
Really?
Through my goggles. But those goggles are lost. They took them, they grabbed them off my face and threw them in the water.
We found the goggles
Oh, good, thank you.
and the snorkel.
Yes,
Yep.
yep,
Are they connected?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
And they're just like regular snorkel
Yeah.
goggles, right?
Yeah, I had them
Okay.
over when I went to the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do they look like? Just to make sure we have the
White.
right one.
They're
White?
Well, transparent plastic with a white snorkel.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think-
Is that it?
I think we have them. Was there any, did it seem like these groups were together?
After they came after me, I don't know, yes,
Okay,
yes, I think so. I mean, I feared for my life. Tell you the truth, when they started hitting me and pointed a knife at me, and then another kid pointed a knife, I thought that was it for me. Luckily, I took it from one of the young kids, and I think that's when I swung back.
what did you do with it?
I don't even know.
Okay,
I don't know. Absolutely, I don't know. I don't know if you got it back. I have absolutely no idea.
did you hit him? Like, did the knife make contact with him?
That I don't remember.
Okay.
You were so close,
Sure,
and one had it in his hand, so I took his hand and I bent it, and I poked him with his own hand. And then I took it from his hand, and then I went and swung like this. So I don't know who I hit. I just know that I took the knife from one of the kids.
okay,
The other one, I don't know what happened to. I didn't get hit. Because as soon as this happened, I started running across. So I went across to my group, and then my group was wondering what just happened. Was it? And I didn't want to tell them anything.
just because you didn't want
I didn't want to get anybody aroused. I didn't want my group to go say, well, we're gonna go talk to those kids. No, they were too drunk. I believe they were too drunk and too set on going after people. I think.
what were these guys doing? Did
They
they
were
know,
just-
did they know anything was going on?
No.
So they didn't know you were getting punched or,
Well, they saw the scuffle because at one point Ernesto was coming towards me like, hey man, did you find anything? And I said, no, I didn't. I don't know. These guys must have it or something. I don't know. And he says, okay, well, he will just get another phone on Monday. You were concerned about getting the phone. And like, okay, so what are you doing? I said, I don't know. I'm just gonna go sit in my thing. And then Sandy said, okay, are you okay? And said, I don't want to talk about it. You know, and then they asked me, hey, what do you want to do? You want to stay here? You want to go down? And I said, I want to go down. And then some girls from my group heard that something was happening over here, and they said, well, we're calling the police. And I think they called the police.
okay.
One or two, I don't know.
Did you see any of that? What was going on?
No.
When they decided to call the police?
No.
Okay. Did you have a knife with you?
No, absolutely. No.
Okay,
I had one earlier that I used to cut, but right at the beginning. And
Okay,
I left
okay.
it in the,
Okay, he is lying, which we know he is lying through this whole thing, okay? Okay, you would think they would do the not guilty by the reason of insanity. No, look at what he did after, okay? His actions after, so they had to go with self-defense, in my humble opinion.
I don't even know what I did with it. I think I either gave it to one of the people or I put it back in my truck.
okay.
Yeah. So it may have been, I tell you the truth, I don't even know.
And that was after you cut the string?
Yeah, we needed to have something to cut the string over there. They don't have any knives. So,
But you have them with you today, right?
the what?
A knife to cut. How did that,
I think it's in my car.
okay.
Yeah. I
Did
think
you drive or did Sandy drive?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't even know where it's at, to tell you the truth. It may be in one of the bags we had with us. It may have been I don't know. Maybe I left it, put it back in the car. Because I went back with a bunch of, I had straps. I didn't want to pay for string. But they say string
You
is
can't.
cheap.
And what, they probably don't want you to have straps.
They told me, they said, yeah, if you have straps, there was a kid over there. If you have straps, no problem, but the string is free. So I said, okay, I'll take the string.
Okay.
You know, and then I took the straps back. So, because straps can puncture the.
Yeah.
So I had a whole bag of straps that I took back to my car.
Okay, and so maybe the knife was with the strap?
Probably.
Do you have any cuts or marks on you? Have you had a chance to like look at your torso or?
Somebody was telling me that I'm bleeding from my ear, from my left ear.
Who told you that?
Oh, I think it was Amy. They said, make your bleeding from your left ear. I went like this. I went in the water. I cleaned, and I don't see any blood. You know, and I don't know if you see any cuts, but
I don't.
Yeah, so I don't know why I was bleeding from my ear.
But Amy saw blood?
I think she says you're bleeding from your ear, Nick. And then I cleaned and I said, look, there is nothing. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it was blood or if it was weeds she saw. I have no idea. We were like, she was on the other side and I was just.
Yeah, so she's over here, right?
She's over here, yeah, right here.
Oh, so she's closest, Amy's over here, closest to the shore?
Yeah.
Okay.
With their nestle right here. And I was over here somewhere in one of these.
Okay, and you got back in that tube then when it was time to go?
Got back in my own tube, yes.
Okay. Did Ernesto come and get you?
No.
Like, did anybody know that you were getting punched or?
No.
Was anybody?
They wanted to talk to me about the phone, if I found the phone and what did those guys say, and I said, they probably did, they don't want to give it up, they attacked me, and that's it. And then I said, let's go, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So they don't know what happened here.
You didn't tell anybody?
No.
Okay.
No. You're the first one to know.
Okay.
That's why probably Amy and everybody else is so surprised.
Well, they're worried about you.
Yeah.
I mean, and even Ernesto was like, I don't know how the hell this happened.
They don't know anything because I didn't know what to tell them.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Everything happened so fast. I really don't why they attacked me. I don't know why they took my snorkel away. I don't know why one of them wanted to pull my pants down. I don't know why they were being so mean. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know. And why did they want to scare me with a knife? I just don't know why they're scaring people on the river. It's a family-oriented river with knives and
oh my God! Oh,
you know, what they did.
I have to pause this for a minute. Right, Savage? He is describing what he did. I mean, not the snorkel thing or whatever. He's lying. We've seen the video. He should have put his hands in the air with a knife and say, hey, I got a knife. Everybody would have backed off. I don't feel sorry for him. One bit.
Yeah.
So was it two males that had knives?
I saw two males.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And were they both from this group, or do you even know?
Well, that I don't know.
Okay.
One of them was from this group. The one
Okay.
that I took the smaller knife from, I think, was from this group.
Okay, so you took the smaller knife.
From one of them.
And is that the one that you said that you kind of went?
Yes.
Basically, like.
Oh, I was going like this. I wanted out. They were coming and they were punching me and they were circling me and they came really close. They were pushing me in the water and I just grabbed the kid's knife. I didn't even know if I was holding it right. I just grabbed it from him because he tried to poke me with it. So I feared for my life.
It sounds like.
I was very shocked. I was extremely shocked. I couldn't even say anything to anybody. I had locked jaw. I don't know. Right now, I don't even know how this happened, how I got away from all that.
So when they were pushing you in the water, did you go underwater or did you remain standing?
No, I tripped.
Okay.
I tripped and I fell in the water a couple of times, yes.
Where on your body did they hit you?
In the back of my back. And I know one of the girls came over and splat me right over my right ear. I couldn't even see what they were doing because I was tripping over the stones, and I was falling down, and they were just jumping on me.
I'm gonna show you a picture and see if you.
Okay. And I'm telling you that day,
I was fearing for my life.
that day on the river was low. Okay? Let's see your average person's height, which I'm short, so it was like a little bit above their ankles. There's no way he could snorkel in that. And who would want to? Just saying. And he says it's a family, whatever. In my opinion, it's not. I've been there more than once, and it's one big party, like I said.
I'm still fearful that they're gonna find out who I am and go do something to Sandy, and possibly some of these people over here. I fear that somehow they're gonna find out who I am and continue their whatever that was. And I don't know why they're so hateful. And I just don't get it. I mean, this is the second time I come to the river, the first time for my wife, and I promised her it was going to be a beautiful outing and nothing to fear. We had a lot of booze. She didn't drink because she was the designated driver. But most of us didn't. There was another girl that didn't drink on the other party because they wanted to drive home. We ate well, we had music, everything was so good. Of course, I had a lot of alcohol. Who doesn't? You know,
Well, you had a sober ride. So,
yeah.
And I don't smell it on you. Were you drinking beer or vodka or what?
No.
Okay.
We don't do hard liquor because then we dehydrate too fast and we get cramps.
Okay.
So after my quadruple bypass, I still have cramps.
Oh, yikes. Quadruple bypass? How long ago was that?
A year and a half ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you see any wires in my chest, in my sternum, that's from the wire.
Really? Do you have a pacemaker in there too or anything? No?
Mm-hmm. I tell you the truth, I'm scared because I'm not in the best of health. Okay, yeah. I'm just going down the river. Probably should not have even drank that much beer, but the doctor never said don't drink.
Sure.
You know, especially beer, you can have as much as you want in moderation. I was in cold water.
Yep.
You know, so, but you know.
Yeah.
And then missing vein here, and then from my leg.
That's what they used to.
Yeah, take it here, take it from here, cut it in half. That's two. The same thing from my leg, cut it in half. Use the other two, so it's quadruple bypass.
Wow.
Yeah, I was dead. My heart stopped 5 hours.
Wow. Have you had a heart attack that prompted that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So I was in pretty bad shape.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I bet Sandy was pretty scared.
She was, because I was in the hospital for quite some time.
I bet.
At Methodist Hospital. But they did a great job, you know, and Methodist Hospital is probably one of the best hospitals for heart surgeries. If you know somebody, I'll point them to Methodist.
Yeah, my father-in-law had heart surgery there too. He had a heart attack a few years ago, and that's what he went.
Yeah.
Do you need some more?
No, that's it.
Are you sure? I got an extra fresh bottle here. So you want it?
Yes, please.
I can't travel without one. It's brand new too. I didn't drink out of it yet.
So, thank you so much.
I probably am going to drink out of it now. So you can have that, and this is going to be my part.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I take a medication that makes me really, really thirsty. So I have bottles of water rolling around in my back seat, I've got them in the door pocket.
I'm supposed to take mine, but they're at home, and I don't know when I'm gonna take them.
Okay, so you have medication that you
Oh,
need?
yeah.
Okay.
5 medication.
Cause I can call Sandy and see,
Oh, I'm not gonna have her drive over here.
well, I might be able to send somebody to go get them,
Oh,
just so that they get back here, and I mean, I'm
she's so
sorry.
shaken right now, she is probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, but we need to make sure you have your medication.
Yeah, but I, like I said, I wouldn't have her drive.
Yep, I might be able to send somebody there to get them. What medications do you take, Nick?
Oh, my God.
Are they all heart related, or some do different
Well,
things?
2 of them are heart related.
Okay,
Yeah. One is aspirin.
that's heart related, right? This is
Yeah.
blood thinning?
Yeah.
Yep,
Potassium, because I'm getting a lot of muscle cramps.
okay,
Um,
that's 4.
There's one. There's another one. I'll tell you when I remember.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Were you on your phone at all during your day today? I know that Sandy didn't bring her phone.
I took some pictures,
Okay,
then I put it away. Sandy does not like to take a lot of pictures because then they get posted on
Facebook or Instagram or something?
Yeah, but I'm okay if they take them, if they post them, yeah. I did take a few, didn't have a chance to do anything with them.
Okay,
Yeah, but I was not on the phone, I didn't call anybody.
okay, did you use your phone around the time,
No.
like right before, you were looking for the phone or anything like that?
No, not me.
Okay.
Not like these guys, they're constantly on their phones. That's why IDL lost his.
Because he was on it too much?
People can't enjoy life nowadays going down the river without being on their phones. Of course, they take a lot of pictures, but the picture is not the same experience as being there. So,
So do you think the pictures that you took were like at the beginning of your journey, or where do you think?
we did take, I took a couple of group ones where they have that music place in the bathrooms.
Okay,
We made a stop there to eat sandwiches. There were a lot of people over there. That beach was completely full. Lots of people there, lots of people. It was a beautiful day, except
It was.
this. And this now, we'll probably close that place down.
you think so?
Yes. Well, I don't know what resulted of it, because I don't know.
Is this you?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think was happening at that time?
They were fighting me. They pointed the knife at me. Both boys pointed the knife at me.
Okay. Did you see anyone take this picture of you?
No, God, no. I was actually very, very scared.
Yeah.
I was very scared. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what they were doing and why. I mean, I understand they were drunk, but you get drunk, I get drunk, we all get drunk. We don't do that kind of stuff, especially on a river like this, family outing. We don't do that kind of stuff. But I was very, very scared. I didn't know what was going to happen next.
Did you see the woman that hit you in the ear? Did you see her at all?
No. I turned around, she hit me again.
Okay. Do you remember what her bathing suit looked like?
No.
What she was wearing?
She was just yelling at me and calling me child molester. That's how it all started. They kept calling me a child molester. I don't know, out of the blue. And then they wanted to beat me up because they said I'm a child molester. And then my argument back to them was, if I'm a child molester and you're children, you shouldn't be drinking. You should not be out here drinking, okay, and doing what you're doing. Where are your parents?
Did they look like they were young?
Oh,
Like,
I don't know, I think they look pretty young to me.
okay.
I don't think they were of the age of drinking,
Really?
yeah. I think, I mean, I don't know, I don't hang out with people like that. My generation and people I hang out with are much older people.
Like Ernesto and Sandy?
Like Ernesto and Sandy and Amy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy's probably one of the youngest ones there.
Sure.
45, and Sandy is 61.
Yeah.
So I'm younger, you know.
So you said that they were standing really close to you?
They were on top of me. They were pushing me, shoving me. I tripped, I fell down, I got up, and that's where I saw the one of the kids there. It was the closest kid with a knife, and I grabbed it from him.
And that was the smaller
Yes,
kid?
yes.
And he was in front of you? Was he as close as we are, or was
Oh,
he
he was
closer?
He was closer. But as soon as he came with the knife, I grabbed the knife from him. And what I did then, I mean, I shouldn't show you, but I grabbed, twisted his arm and poked him with his own knife. Then I took it from him and I started swinging.
Okay.
So I swung. I don't even know who I hit.
Okay.
I don't know if I hit the girl that hit me twice in the head from behind. I don't know if I hit another kid. I don't know. They were just on top of me. They chased me, hitting me and yelling at me and calling me, insulting me. That's it.
Okay.
So I don't know what knife they had. I don't know. I just saw two knives. That's it. The longer one and the shorter one. Okay. I don't know where they are. I don't know who's got them. I don't know.
Okay. This right here, this interview is damaging to him. Even more than the video. And I say that because these are his words. That video is awful because we're watching people dying.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get a sample of your DNA, because if these knives don't belong to you, I would imagine your DNA is not going to be on them.
Well, I touched one of them.
Yeah, you touched the one you grabbed.
Yeah, from the kid. Yeah.
Would you be willing to give me a sample
Yes.
of your DNA? Okay.
Yeah. Is that the good thing?
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lawyer over here to ask.
Yeah, and certainly, so.
Should I wait?
Well, I've got a colleague that's in the process of writing a search warrant, so we're going to get it one way or another. I just thought if I could ask you, and we could just do it right now, I'll like show you how to, like what we would do.
I know what it is.
I would just get your DNA sample. Yeah, instead of a big Q-tip.
Yeah.
We'd also like to do an exam, have a nurse examine your body.
That's absolutely okay.
Okay, and I want her to look in your ears, and I want her to look at your back, and the people that are in these groups, we're going to try to collect evidence from them, because they might have your skin underneath their fingernails, or, we're going to do our best to get any evidence to, I mean, we know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, and I know everything that happened in the river, so.
Well, yeah, there's that part of it too, but,
Definitely.
okay,
Yep, yeah.
okay,
You can tell me.
okay.
I just don't know if I had a lawyer present, what he or she would say.
Well, I just want you to know that we would get it anyway.
Okay.
I've got a coworker that's writing a search warrant.
If you would get
for the
it
judge.
anyway, then let's do it.
Okay, with the court order, or just let's do it now and get it done?
No, let's do it now and
Okay.
and give you what you need
Okay.
to start your
Yeah.
proceedings or your search. Yeah.
Well, and yeah, I mean, if you sound like you were really afraid.
Yeah, I have a quadruple bypass. I have been out of shape. I have been in bed for a long time, for 6 months at least. I couldn't go to work. I'm not in the best. I mean, I was just floating down the river. Nothing much. Every once in a while, I got up so I could pee, because I can't pee in the tent there. Shouldn't tell you that on camera, but yes, most people have to get off the thing. So I got out. I would get up and then hold on and then get back in. I mean, I don't do anything to stay in shape. I'm a guy that wants to survive and keep working at Richie Engineering, and why these things happen, it's beyond me. I mean, I I don't understand. I mean, why would that many people, come down on one person that didn't absolutely do anything, take his goggles, almost one wanted to pull my pants down. So
Did your trunks have like a drawstring?
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
didn't come down?
Oh, no. They came down a little bit, but no, because I have a drawstring on them, so yeah, they couldn't pull it down. But why? All of a sudden, they were like wolves around me, and they were attacking me from all directions. And I truly feared for my life. I didn't know what to do. I mean, these guys were talking over there. I didn't know what to say. I mean, I was just.
Which guys are you talking?
My
group.
Okay. My guys. So, and they were quite a bit distance, so they didn't see anything. I don't think they saw anything. And.
So when you go back to your tube, do you guys get the hell out of there? Or
No.
do you what do you do?
We stayed there.
Okay.
Yeah, the girls called the cops. We didn't know what to do. And we stayed there for a long time. There were people coming. We even saw the sheriff coming, and they kept saying, "Oh my God," they didn't know what happened. So they said, "Oh my God, what happened?" So there was a fight. And I said, "Yeah, I don't know what was going on after that. I thought they were still fighting." Personally, when I came back, I saw a whole bunch of people coming over there and yelling at each other, and I thought they were still fighting for some reason. I didn't know what was going on. So I personally wanted to stay and watch to see if the cops get them for fighting, for whatever they were doing.
Sure. Okay.
So I wanted to be a witness to them fighting.
Gotcha.
Or if the cops needed a witness, I wanted to sit there for as long as possible. And then the group said, "Well, there's so many people there. I don't know. Let's just get going. We don't want to get involved." And I said, I was just in there. They attacked me. Yeah, but look at them now. They're attacking each other. I don't know what they're doing. So cops came, and we stayed there for, I don't know, another 10, 15 minutes.
When the police were there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we decided we'll go. Nobody asked me anything, and I said, I kept my mouth shut. And down the river we went.
Okay.
So I was very shocked. I didn't know what just happened, really, to tell you the truth.
Well, Sandy said that you were quiet.
I was very quiet.
And you didn't really talk.
I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I get excuse my French, my ass kicked by a whole bunch of kids. What am I going to say? I just got my ass kicked by this kid. Now the police is on top of them. Well, I think something is going to come out of it. Yeah. So I thought the police was there because they were fighting, because these were just boys. And they were being obnoxious, not only picking on me, then these girls came over and hit me.
So these are girls over here?
Well. Mostly.
Okay. And this was all guys?
Yeah, I didn't know who was in this group, but I know these were all guys because I was snorkeling back and forth, and I asked them if they found something, and they said, well, they started calling me a molester. Then I got up, and one of them took my goggles, threw me in the river. I went after them. One of them wanted to pull my pants down. And there you go. So what happened? Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. 4 people went to the hospital with injuries.
Oh, my God.
And 1 person died.
Oh, no.
I don't know any of their names, and I don't know any genders, so I don't know.
Was that because they fought each other, or is that
I don't know. I don't know what their injuries are. I was with Sandy the whole time, and then when I kind of turned Sandy over to Ernesto and Amy, then I came here. So I have no idea what their injuries were.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So we just need to be able to piece this together you know, in your statement,
What other pictures did they give you of me?
it's just that one. That's the only one I have.
They didn't take, they
Well-
have lots of cameras, you should take their
Yep,
cameras.
yes, and so I have colleagues,
Yeah,
investigators that are talking to all of those, you know, the people in the group and the other witnesses. So yes, we are trying to collect, and I told Ernesto and Amy, because they said that Rosie was
Rosie,
taking a lot of
yeah.
pictures.
yeah,
Okay,
but I don't think she took any pictures of those guys. There
Well-
was, at the stop up here.
yes, but
Yeah.
you were snorkeling. They might have been like taking a
Oh,
selfie or
I see,
something,
I
and
see. Yeah,
we
yeah,
could have
yeah,
gotten,
yeah,
we
yeah.
could get these guys in
Yeah.
the background that they don't even realize they have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So I asked them to go through their photos so
Right,
that we
right,
would
right,
be
right.
in contact with them.
Got it. I was, all of a sudden you say that, like, why would they take pictures of me going over there?
No, you just never know what you get in a picture.
Yeah.
If they're sitting here waiting for you and somebody else to find the phone,
Did you find his phone?
I don't know. Again, I've been with Sandy pretty much the whole time, and now I came here with you. So I do know, I did get a message that the goggles on the snorkel were found. So that's all the information that I have about, like, items that were located.
No, my whole life is down the tubes.
Well, I don't know if that's the case. Because people have the right to defend themselves.
I know, but this is Wisconsin.
This is Wisconsin.
Okay. You continue on. I usually know that people that defend themselves, they end up being accused of being this and being that.
Well, I think if you'd asked me what I would have done,
Yeah,
I mean,
let's not say
I don't know.
that. Yeah, you don't know.
I don't know. I would have been scared shitless, I can tell you that.
When that many people
Yeah.
try to pull your pants down and hit you, and two boys had knives on them. They didn't find any of those two knives?
I don't know. I don't know, but we're looking. And, you know, we're looking before it gets dark out. Okay, right now it is 8:40.
I'm glad I actually took that kid's knife. He would have stabbed me. He was not there to scare me. He was there to harm me. At least I'm here, but I'm sorry for how it ended up. Still scared, like I said, I'm scared that they're gonna be finding out where I live and they're gonna be hunting us at night and they're gonna be hurting my wife.
Well, I will call Sandy as soon as I leave here, okay, and just check in on her. Find out about your medications. Have you had any medicine this morning?
No, I take them in the evening.
Okay, you take them in the evening. What would happen if you don't take them
Nothing.
tonight?
Nothing. I'm not even hungry to tell you the truth.
Okay, but if you don't take your medication tonight, is that life-threatening?
I don't think so. No, I mean, granted what happened today, I was shocked, but I don't know. I don't think so. I just can't believe what happened. They need to maybe do sobriety tests on minors on that river. Maybe they need to put an end to drinking, underage drinking and doing drugs. The river over there is turned into a sewer. My second time, and I have dragged my wife out of there, pretty much against her will. I promised her it was going to be the best day. I made promises. We're going to have a great time with this.
But she didn't want to go?
No. She always says, oh, places like this, all they do is smoke pot and do this. Yes, there was a lot of pot smoking over there. we don't know who's legal, who's illegal. I don't know anything about Wisconsin laws, but you can smell it. It was everywhere in the air. And I don't know what people do to, you do the DNA to find out, what type of drugs are in my system. I've never done any of that stuff, so I don't know. I'm very clean, as clean as they go. You looked at my criminal record, you can keep digging, there is nothing there because I don't have anything, not even a parking ticket, not a speeding ticket. I'm as a law-abiding citizen as they come. But I fear for my life too. I mean, I went through a very serious surgery to be alive, to be knocked down by a bunch of kids on the river.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I'm not blaming the police. I believe that's a private land. They have to have their own security there, and they need to do better.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub these along your lower gum line and kind of inside your cheek. I'm going to do them both at the same time. It shouldn't hurt at all. If it does, let me know. I'm going to put them in this box, and then I'm going to seal this bag while we're sitting here so you see that I sealed it, okay? So I'll just have you open up your mouth. Let's see here. Shouldn't, like I said, shouldn't hurt. All right. And you're okay with having the nurse do the exam on you? Taking pictures if you have any lumps on the body, you're okay with that?
Yeah. These actually are from trying to get out of the tubes in shallow water.
Okay.
I had a hard time trying to stop the drain.
Yeah. Can I just, I know the nurse will too, but can I take a picture of it?
Yes.
Okay.
But this was not from the confrontation.
Oh, this wasn't?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood that.
No, these are from scrapes on the river bottom when I was
When you were snorkeling? I got you. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, please don't use that, yeah. I didn't touch those kids. I did not, I didn't swim, nothing. No.
Okay. I'm gonna seal this up, because I told you I was gonna do that. And then I'm gonna go call the person that, has the nurse kind of on standby, so that we can, get that taken care of. I'm also gonna give Sandy a holler. Oh, look at that, the tape just,
Oh, no.
for the love of God.
Is this good?
Well, I didn't like it, because it's all, and it's not gonna be big enough to do what I need to do here, so we'll try it again. Worst case scenario, I can always bring it to my office next door and do it in the evidence room. But I'm gonna try to take care of it here.
Probably dries up. When it dries up, it's probably.
Well, and then it's real sticky and it's real finicky, so if you get it stuck on something, it's, it's meant to not,
Okay, of course I gotta make another comment. This Apple River stabbing situation here. Let's see. It's been open, 40 years? Nothing like this has ever happened before. This is the first time anything like this has happened.
it wasn't hammered yet, so. And it ripped on my finger, so I'll just.
It dries so fast.
Okay. So I'm gonna go call my supervisor, who had been in contact with the nurse, and just let them know that we're gonna do that. And then I will be back. Do you have any questions for me now?
It is not.
You need to go potty. All right, I can make sure that happens. I'm just gonna write your name on here so that. Today is 7/30/22.
And my
Yep, this is,
Oh.
that means no middle initial.
Oh,
And then
I see.
oh, did I spell it wrong? It's
No, no,
M-I-U. Yep, I did.
yeah.
It's M-I-U. There we go. Okay, that's yours. I will be back in a minute. In the meantime, I'll have one of the jail staff bring you to the bathroom. And are you still doing okay? Do you need, how's your water there?
I have money for now.
Okay.
It's going through a lot faster than I thought.
All right. Be right back, Nick.
Thank you so much.
Can you use the restroom?
Lieutenant Hart, was that the interview you did with Nicolae?
All right,
Yes.
let's get back to, I'm sure they're back from break.
Yes.
While you were talking to him, you showed Mr. Rio a photo.
Here we go.
As if things would fall together.
On those people.
Okay. How about just taking a step backwards?
Well, I was standing my ground. I didn't move towards anybody.
Okay.
They're coming at me.
When you raised your left hand and you did that, do you recall when you pushed her away having contact with her?
I may have, yes.
Okay. Do you remember in particular where, if at all, you touched her?
No.
Okay. Would it surprise you if you touched her?
No.
Was that, in fact, your purpose in pushing her away?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She was in my space.
I want to move forward here. And you can turn the slide off, I guess. After you did that, right? Did something happen to you?
Yeah.
Did people do something to you?
Yeah.
What was done to you?
Yeah, almost right away I got punched and fell in
And
the water
where did you get punched?
on my face, on my side of the head.
Now, you've had a chance to watch this video, correct?
Yes.
Have you had a chance to see these 4,800 slides?
Yes.
Prior to seeing that, did you remember everything?
No.
Have the video or the slides help you to refresh your memory in some way?
A lot.
Have you remembered everything because you've seen that?
Not everything, no.
Okay. Do you remember something different than what you see in the video?
No.
You don't remember any of the things different that you see in the video? Like you talked about the goggles.
Objection leading.
Overruled. We're just trying to reorient the witness to a place where examination can continue.
Are there some times when your memory is different from what the video is?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Now, this series that I want to show you is about things that were done to you, okay?
Yes.
Do you have a specific memory about everything that was done to you?
No.
Do you have a specific memory about everything that you did in response to what was done to you?
No.
Do you have a memory about how you felt in those moments?
I would say yes, I do.
Do you have a memory of what you believed in those moments based upon those feelings?
Of course.
So I want to show you the slide here. Again, this is slide 2661, 2662, and 2681. That's fine. Do you remember how you felt when you fell back into the water?
I was, number one, I was stunned. That's why I fell backwards. I was very afraid, of course.
On this fear scale that you've talked about before, where are you on that scale from 0 to 10?
Right at the top, 10.
Have you ever been at that 10 before in your life?
Never been in a situation like this or a fight in my life.
Have you ever been at a 10?
Never.
When you did that, as we see on the right, what happened to your head?
Oh, well, I fell in the water. Obviously, that's a river, and I hit my head on river rock, and my whole body went under. Well,
Okay.
my head went underwater.
When you say your head went under, is that what it felt like?
Yes,
Did you feel water come over your face?
over my entire body.
Hold on,
Yes.
hold on. What's the objection?
Leading.
Sustained.
Where did you feel the water on your body?
Over my face, my mouth.
Okay.
I felt like I was submerged in water at the moment.
Did you try to get up?
Yes,
Why did you want to get up? Why didn't you just lay down there peacefully in the water?
to drown. No, I wouldn't want to do that. I wanted to get up out of the water.
At that moment, when you're down in the water, had anybody like AJ Martin come up to you and said, just lay there and rest?
Somebody came from behind, yes, I found out later who he was, and pushed me down and to keep me in the water.
Before that, when you tried to get up, do you remember feeling anything before that? You told the,
Yeah,
did you feel anything to any part of your head?
yes, of course.
What did you feel?
Felt punched in the head.
Showing you the next slides, is that 2701, 2705, 2706? What's happening to you there?
I'm getting hit on the head.
How many times at that point, is your memory of watching the video and your memory of experiencing this, have you been hit in the head now, but either by people or by the ground or by the water?
4 times at least.
Okay. At point in time, where's your fear scale?
A 10.
When this happened to you, did you immediately get up or did you fall back in the water or did something else happen?
I tried getting up, but I couldn't.
Did you, at some point, did you feel something on your backside?
There was somebody pushing me down.
And when you felt that on your backside, did you feel anything else anywhere else?
I got hit in the face, in the front of my head.
And is that exhibit here, 2147, do you see that hand through the underarm there?
Yes,
Do you remember getting hit in the head there?
yes,
Was that a gentle hit?
no.
When you're getting hit in the head here again, where are you at on the fear scale at that point?
10,
Have you been able to get up out of the water?
no.
How many people do you know? How many people are attacking you?
At the time, I didn't know, but I knew there were more than I could handle.
Did it feel like it was, how many people did it feel like?
Like 10.
Okay. You've seen the video and you responded at some point, is that right?
Yes,
And you used your knife in response.
yes.
Why do you use your knife?
I feared for my life.
Did you think you could get out of there without using your knife?
I couldn't even get up. They're pushing me down. No, so the answer is no.
In that time when you're down on the ground, did you think there was a way for you to escape?
No,
Did you feel like you could just crawl away or run away or walk away or do anything else to escape?
not in that position.
The next day after this, July 31st, were you in the, did you feel, how did your body feel the next day?
I hurt everywhere. My head hurt, my throat hurt. Obviously, my back hurt. I hurt everywhere.
You said your throat hurt. Is that something you remembered that day before when you were speaking with Brandy Hart?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Did you mention it to Brandy Hart?
I don't remember.
Okay. Did you see anything when you felt the pain about your throat? Did you see anything that refreshed your memory about what caused that pain to your throat?
After watching the video, yes.
Okay. What happened?
I got hit in the throat.
Do you remember that
Hard.
now?
Yes,
If I can. Showing you the slides 2993, 2994, and 2997. Is that you?
yes.
What's happening to you there?
Somebody is going for my throat, squeezing my throat.
Do you remember how that felt?
I felt pain. I couldn't breathe. Scared, afraid.
And showing you the next set of slides here, 2998, 99, and 3000. What did you think was going to happen to you in that moment?
The whole time I I felt like I was going to die, so basically I feared for my life.
And in response to that, here's slide 3000. Did you do something in response to that?
I reached out and stabbed him.
When you used your knife, and again, this is open-ended, you can ask it any way you want. Were you trying to kill somebody?
Absolutely not.
What were you trying to do?
I was just trying to defend myself.
After this was, again, we've seen the video, you talked to Investigator Hart. So I want to ask you a little bit about that for a moment. Make sense?
Mhm.
Do you independently, well, let me say, you've watched the video here in court, correct?
Yes.
And you watched the video prior to that. We've watched it together, right?
Yes.
Does watching that video refresh your memory? Do you have an independent memory of that conversation with Investigator Hart?
No.
Do you remember what it is you said other than seeing things on the video?
Other than I lied about the knife. That's what I remember, afterward. Yeah, I lied about the knife.
Do you remember actually saying that in that moment, or you just remember seeing that and that's what you remember seeing?
I remember seeing it in the video.
Okay. Do you remember how you were feeling during that time at all? Do you have any memory about that?
Not much.
Just one other thing out of the timeline here. Since that time, we've heard testimony, you have a twin brother.
Yes.
Is he here in the courtroom?
Yes.
Objection relevance, Your Honor.
Overruled. You may continue.
Just briefly, because I want to ask you about conversations that you may have had with your twin brother. Just briefly. How do you feel about your twin brother?
I love him.
Objection, that's irrelevant, Your Honor.
Overruled.
During this time, have you had conversations with your twin brother?
Yes.
Do you consider there to be anybody that you're really, maybe your wife, anybody you're closer to than your twin brother?
No.
You and your twin brother, when you speak, what language do you speak in?
Romanian.
Why do you speak in Romanian with your twin brother?
It's the easiest way to find words to describe what we're thinking.
Okay. Is that where you grew up?
That's the first language.
Are there times when you've spoke with your brother that you've talked about this, what happened to you on the river?
Yes.
Is your memory about what you did or what was done to you, is it any better when you talk to your brother than it is when you talk about other times?
No.
Are you always getting it right?
No.
How about your feelings? Your memory about your feelings?
Mhm.
Do you get those right?
Yes, but almost all the time. The feeling is imprinted in my heart, my soul, my mind.
Let me, just for a moment, I'll bring us back to the river on July 30th, okay?
Mhm.
At some, I think you'd said on the video and maybe you testified that people attacked you, is that right?
Correct.
At some point, did people stop attacking you?
No.
At some point, did people stop attacking you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
When people stopped attacking you, what did you do?
I walk away.
Okay. Why didn't you stay?
Oh God. I walked away towards my group where it was safe. I was afraid of the people that I just had contact with.
When you're walking away, and you've talked about this fear scale, where are you on the fear scale? Does it just go down right to 0? Does it stay at 10? Does something else happen?
No, as soon as I saw the people I trusted, my fear level started creeping down.
When you say creeping down, when you're walking back, can you give us where are you on that scale?
As I was getting closer to my group, the fear factor is going lower and lower.
But when you first start walking back, what's the number value?
About 8.
When you get back to the tubes, what's the number level?
About 4,
Okay.
5.
I think we didn't talk about it. We've talked a little bit about your body response during this
Mhm.
brief time. When you start walking back, how's your body responding to you?
I had cramps. I felt like I I had diarrhea, so I felt like I lost my bowel,
Was that
which I did.
was that when you were walking back, or was that when you were in that 10 seconds of things happening to you and you responding?
I was when the action was going on in the 10-second frame.
You got diarrhea.
Yes.
When you were walking back,
Yeah.
what else is your body? What are you feeling with your body?
Well, heartbeat is getting, when I'm walking back, the heartbeat was very, very high. Now it's going down a little bit. Breathing, that's what I remember. I was super, super stressed.
How about your head? As you're going back, is your head clear? Is your head in a different state? How can you describe like what's going on in your head?
My head was in a fog. It was like thick fog. I couldn't think. I couldn't realize what I've been through.
Were you trying to make sense of it?
I was trying, but there was no sense to be made. I was completely confused and in a fog.
And when you walked away, you had the knife in your hand. Is that right?
Yep.
When you got to your group, did you still have the knife?
No.
What happened to the knife?
On the way back, I tossed it on the bank.
And you just made with your right hand kind of a underhand motion
Yeah.
with your right hand from, at your side, raising up to maybe level with you. Is that fair representation of what you were
Correct.
describing?
You
Correct.
remember that?
Why'd you toss the knife?
I don't know. I was afraid. I felt like I had to throw it away.
What were you afraid of at that point?
I was overwhelmed with just fear, residual fear. And I didn't want to have anything to do with that.
Okay. We've heard testimony that eventually you get back to the tubes. Does that happen?
Yeah.
Where's your memory about that? Right now, as you sit here, because we don't have a video about that, we don't have photos of that, what's your memory like about that?
Barely remember anything.
Okay. Do you remember talking to people?
I remember people trying to talk to me, but I don't know. I don't remember what I said.
Okay. You've heard some testimony about things that you might have said. Are you denying you said any of those things?
No.
Do you know what you said?
After watching the video, yes.
Okay. The video isn't I'm confused. The tubes, there's no video of you at the tubes. When you say,
After.
were you talking about Brandy Hart's statements?
Yes, yes.
Okay. About what you said to the people at the tubes. Do you have any memory of that?
No.
Okay. When you're sitting there at the tubes, how are you feeling in your head? You talked about this fog, right? If you could put that on a scale, where is that?
I still couldn't, my head was in a thick cloud. I couldn't understand what just happened. Still trying to process everything. I was overwhelmed.
Did you think at any point you were just casual about what had happened?
No.
Did this feel casual to you in any way?
No.
At some point, you saw the video here. You had contact with the police, is that right?
Yes.
You had sat in the back of a squad car of the Sheriff Knutson, is that right?
Yes.
Do you remember much of anything about that?
No.
Do you remember, you've seen some of the videos today. Can you tell us, what do you remember?
Nothing.
Okay. Nothing at all? How about a feeling? Do you remember a feeling at all?
Yeah, I was still very afraid.
Okay. When you say very afraid, what were you afraid of at that point?
Well, I've been through a horror situation, but in their presence, I wasn't that afraid, but I was stunned. I don't remember much about it.
Do you remember watching the video here in court when the police were talking about a guy with a bat?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember anything about that?
A little bit.
Do you remember how that made you feel?
Oh, yeah.
How-
I felt very afraid of him. Very afraid.
Oh, but
We watched the video of you with Sheriff Knutson. That was about 23 seconds long. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Have you watched a longer portion of that video with your attorneys?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember saying more things to Sheriff Knutson after that?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine. We saw a video here about your being arrested and told that you were arrested for homicide. Did you remember that?
After watching the video, memory came back, but I don't remember that.
Okay.
Naturally.
When you're talking with either, at some point you go and you meet with Investigator Hart, is that right?
Yeah.
When they were talking about homicides and injuries, can you tell me what's your mindset? Did that make sense to you? Did you understand that?
No, I couldn't make any sense of anything that she was telling me. I just couldn't make sense of it. Plus, I don't remember the meeting with her.
Okay. Right now, as you sit here, you're like, I don't remember that.
Right.
The feelings, now, some of the times that you talk with Brandy Hart, you talk about what you saw happening or heard happening or what you did. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you get all of that right?
No.
Your feelings, when you're talking about your feelings about and how you believed and your fear.
I feared for my life. That's one thing I can't deny. That's embedded in my head forever. I feared for my life. I know that. I have nightmares.
oh, Jesus.
You've talked to her yet. Tell us about those nightmares.
I have them every night.
What happens in those nightmares?
Objection, Your Honor. It's irrelevant.
It's just,
Oh
His
my
nightmares
God.
are irrelevant.
Do you feel sorry?
The fact that he had
His
it.
feelings, you guys, his feelings. Oh my God.
can I approach?
Yes, yes.
Oh. His feelings, guys. His feelings. He's living a nightmare. He has nightmares, guys. What about the people he tried to gut? Slaughter. I know. The way I talk. Prosecutors are going to eat him up.
Mr. Leo, you've been drinking that day, right?
Yeah.
I only had a couple.
And
Like
showing us the
beers.
mark is Exhibit 12A. You recognize that?
Yes.
That's the group photo of you folks from the beginning of the river. In fact, you're holding a beer.
Correct.
Looks like everybody in your group has some sort of alcoholic beverage.
Looks like it.
You see numerous people in your group with these phone cases around their necks.
Yeah.
And as you're going down the river, you saw lots of people with phone cases around their necks, right?
Mm-hmm.
All day long.
Yeah.
In fact, River's Edge sells or rents out those phone cases, right?
I don't know that.
Did people in your group rent or buy phone cases from the tube rental?
I have no
Okay.
idea.
Right? You've testified that you were told to bring the knife before you left your home, right?
Correct.
And the reason for bringing your knife on the river was to cut strings or ropes for the tubes, right?
Correct.
And that was the reason you brought it.
Correct.
In fact, you told the police that after your tubes were tied together, you thought you put your knife back in the car, right?
Correct.
But in fact, it was in your pocket.
Yes.
Was it in your pocket the whole day?
No.
All right, well, we're going to get to that. Once the tubes are tied together with the rope and you said that you thought that you put it back in your car, you don't have a reason to have the knife anymore, right? It accomplished its purpose, right?
I didn't know that at the time.
Right? Did you tell the cops, that the police, that you didn't think you were going to need it, and that's why you thought you put it in the car?
I may have.
All right. Were you present when Steve Kaufman, who owns River's Edge, testified first day of the trial?
Yes.
And you heard him say that they sell pre-cut cords for $1, right?
Right.
All right. And then, did you see in the picture, when you got on the river, you were wearing that long sleeve camo shirt, right?
Mhm.
A hat and sunglasses?
Correct.
All right. Ariel's phone was in one of those cases, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
All right. And is it your understanding that those cases are float cases?
That's what I was told.
All right. And you told, in fact, you told Lieutenant Hart that it was in a float case, right?
Correct.
Once the phone disappeared, there was conversation amongst the folks in your group about whether it was even worth it to go look for it, right?
That's what I learned.
And in fact, you were told that they didn't care about the lost phone because they had insurance to cover it, right?
That's what I learned here, but I don't remember that as a conversation.
Nobody asked you to go look for the phone, right?
Correct.
You chose to do that on your own.
I volunteered.
And in fact, members of your group were a little annoyed that you were stopping again so quickly after having been at the hideaway where you'd stopped for lunch.
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Did you hear anybody in your group say, why are we stopping again?
I didn't stop the group.
The group stopped when you decided to go off on your own to look for this phone, right?
Speculation.
Overruled.
Right?
They already stopped. I got off the tube to look for so I didn't stop them.
In any event, you're the one who insisted on looking for it. Nobody asked you to do that, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
And when you left to go look for the phone, you had your goggles and your snorkel, right? You knew that the phone was in a float bag. At least that's what you told police afterwards, right?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
So the bag, the phone and the float bag would have been floating, right?
Supposedly,
All right. And so you wouldn't need a snorkel and goggles to find a phone floating on top of the water, right?
I wasn't sure if it was actually floating or not. Never tested it.
All right. Well, you would agree that a phone has some weight to it.
Yes.
And if it wasn't a float bag, it would sink to the bottom, right?
Yes.
Where it was dropped.
Correct. Well, or remember, it's a river, so
Sure.
it could have flown down.
The river has current, right?
Right. So it could
I'm going
have
to
flown.
approach, I'm going to draw something here.
Yes.
You remember when you met with Lieutenant Hart, you drew a diagram of the river. All right, and this is your group up here at the sandbar, right?
Mhm.
This is the boys' group down here. I'll put initials IS for Isaac Schumann, right?
Correct.
This is this is the diagram that you wrote,
Mhm.
drew for Lieutenant Hart. The phone was lost over here, right?
Mhm.
Instead of looking downstream for it where the current was going, you went this way, across the current,
No.
to look for the phone. You made contact with Isaac Schumann's group on the other side of the river.
But that's not where I started looking for it. Straight across the river.
That's where you ended up making contact.
He was
with.
I
over
ended
by
up
the
there. I
bridge.
didn't start
If
there.
you guys
All right, the phone would not have floated across the current, right?
Well, I don't know where he lost it. That's where we pulled over. He could have lost it minutes before we even
what do you care?
anchored.
What do you
So when you
care?
testified a minute ago that the phone was lost, where your group was labeled M, now you're changing that story?
In that vicinity.
Objection. Mischaracterized his testimony.
Again, members of the jury, what the attorneys say is not evidence. Rely on the witness's
And
testimony.
what I say?
Next question, please.
In any event, it's your testimony that you had reason to go over to the south side of the river where Isaac Schuman's group was? To look for a phone. That's your story?
I had reason to search in that
You
area.
had no reasons.
I didn't know where that phone fell in the water. I don't think even Ariel knew where he lost it. We didn't drop the phone when we anchored. He dropped the phone before we got there.
Fair to say that at that point in the river is 150 feet wide,
Yep,
and Isaac Schuman's group was on the south side of the river.
correct.
Your group's on the north side of the river.
100 feet.
Rather than searching the north side, you went to the south side of the river. Is that fair to say?
Already looked in that area.
That's not what I'm asking. You went over to the south side of the river, right?
Overruled. You can answer the question.
You did, right?
Yes, you did.
What was that question
You
again?
went over to the south side of the river to supposedly look for this phone, right?
I ended up there at that point, yes.
Hmm,
And you chose to go over there and look for it, where these boys were.
That's right.
Overruled. You can answer the
Say
question.
it.
Oh,
Come on, dude.
You chose to go over to where these boys were to supposedly look for this phone, right?
chose to look in that area, yes.
There was other areas of the river where these boys weren't located that you could have searched until they floated past.
Oh.
Right?
Look at his face.
A million other spots.
Sure. But you chose to go to that spot.
I didn't even notice those boys there at the time when I was searching.
You chose.
You were present in court when Eric Williams, who was a member of your group, testified, right?
Right?
You heard him testify?
Yes.
Care about
And you
the
were
phone.
here when he testified that he had some concerns about you going over to snorkel by this group, Isaac's group.
I heard him.
And one of his concerns is that he thought that they would think you were a predator, right?
Sustained.
Come on. He went lunging at these kids. We seen it in the video.
He testified
Right.
that you didn't have your knife in your pocket the whole time, right?
Correct.
When you decided to do a snorkel over by Isaac Schuman's group, you had the knife in your pocket.
Yes.
Did you go back to your group and get it?
No, I had the knife. I testified I did not have the knife in my pocket the whole time. When we pulled over there, I fixed my shoes. Then I left it in my pocket.
All right, but somehow, so when you get ready to snorkel,
Yes.
you've taken off your shirt, right?
Yes.
Your hat,
Yes.
your sunglasses.
Correct.
You left the knife in your pocket.
I forgot it in my pocket.
Well, on the video, we can see you touching your knife, right? You knew it was in your pocket.
Well, when you walk, it starts, yeah, but
It has weight,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So you can't forget it's there because it's got weight. Correct?
at some point I forgot I had it in my pocket when, yeah.
You
When you
weren't
walk.
you were not going to need your knife to snorkel and look for a lost phone.
Correct.
Overruled.
You weren't going to need your knife for that task that you set out to do, right?
I wouldn't even need anything.
But you brought it with you anyhow.
It happened to be in my pocket, yes.
When she got over to where Isaac Schuman's group was, they made it readily apparent they did not want you over by them, correct?
That's not true.
They didn't call you names?
Yes, but they asked me what I was looking for. And I thought they were polite people. I said, I'm looking for my lost phone.
They did not want you by them, and they told you that, right?
At some point, yes.
And that's the short video. You turn around and you're walking away, right?
Yes.
But then Joanne Cockfield calls you a raper, right?
Yes.
And then you turn around
Yes.
and you were angry.
I was not angry.
Oh, you were not angry that someone called you a raper.
No.
All right. You look at Joanne, who's filming you, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, Your testimony is that even though many people on the river have these phones and these float cases, you decided that was the phone and you needed to run up and check.
Objection argumentative.
Sustained.
Your testimony earlier was you thought he had the phone, right?
I thought he had the phone, yes.
Right.
I wanted to investigate.
And you, instead of walking up and saying, hey, is that the phone I'm looking for? You ran up on these boys, didn't you?
I ran up and stumbled, and then I fell right by their, yes,
That's my next question. You're claiming now that you stumbled.
yes.
You've never said that before today, ever, to anybody, any law enforcement or anybody else. Right?
But I have seen the videos now.
Well, we're going to take a look at the video. And since you reviewed the video, you know that before you ran up on them, you were touching your knife in your pocket to make sure it was there, right?
I don't remember that.
Well, let's take a look. Stop. Back up one. That's you with your right hand touching your pocket where your knife was clipped in, right?
It appears so.
What is he on? Whoa! 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 Get away!
So you're claiming today that where you reach down and grab at these boys' legs where their tubes are, that was a stumble. Is that your story?
Objection argumentative.
Overruled. You can answer the question.
Answer it, dude.
I know I hit a stone, yes. But I grabbed onto their inner tubes.
And you know where you grabbed onto their inner tube is where two of these boys had their legs draped over their inner tubes, right?
I see that.
And you made contact with their legs, didn't you?
I don't remember that.
Yes,
See
you
it on the
did.
video?
I see it on the video. I don't remember actually making contact.
And as soon as you did that, these boys jumped out of their tubes to get away from you, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And you held onto their tubes so that their tubes couldn't float away.
For how long?
Well, I'm asking you. You did,
Yeah, it looks like for a brief 1 second.
and you were searching through their tubes.
Or what?
You walked around their tubes. Rather than letting their tubes go so they could get back in their tubes and be on their way, you walked around their tubes.
So after my goggles dropped in the water, I went around their tubes to go to the other side and look for my goggles.
Let's talk about your goggles for a second, because you told the police, specifically Lieutenant Hart, that these boys knocked your goggles off your face and that you were looking for your goggles at that point, right?
I don't remember my interview with her, correct?
But you heard yourself say it in the interview.
Yes, yes.
And in fact, that nothing of the sort ever happened, right?
So the interview with Brandy Hart was not accurate.
What you said at the time is what you wanted the police to believe happened, right?
That's what I remembered at the
Okay.
time.
And from the video, you can see that you actually put your goggles in your mouth so you would have two free hands to be able to grab onto these boys' tubes, right?
Yes,
So you were preparing for your stumble before it actually even happened?
I wasn't prepared for anything.
These boys were calling you names to go away, right? After you grabbed onto their tubes, touched their legs.
I don't remember any of that stuff.
All right, you don't remember them calling you, asking you what you were doing?
Watching the videos, yes, but but unnatural remembering, no.
Do you remember as you're running up, they're saying, whoa, 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 what's he doing?
I don't remember that.
All right, but you've seen it on the video.
Yes,
And then once you've made contact with two of these boys' legs and grabbed onto their tubes, they started calling you a pedophile, right?
I don't remember when they started calling me.
Do you remember them calling you a pedophile at all? Or do you just know that from watching the video?
Correct.
Oh, I thought of something right here.
You testified that they were calling you names earlier, right?
Right.
And that upset you.
It did not upset me.
Okay? Your attorneys talked about your comfort scale and your fear scale. Let's talk about your anger scale, okay?
Mhm.
At the time you were called a raper, what was your anger scale at?
Maybe 1.
1 out of 10?
Yeah.
And that was enough to get you to run up on these boys, grab onto them, stop their tubes at a 1. Is that what you're saying?
Objection, argument, that's not what he said.
Sustained.
You don't like being humiliated, right?
Nobody does.
Your attorney has said that these boys were humiliating you.
Objection as to his making.
Sustained on the form.
You're claiming that you were being taunted.
Objection, he did not testify to that.
Sustained. Form.
You had testified earlier that your shoes, there was problems with your shoes, but as you can see from the portion of the video we played so far, those shoes didn't prevent you from running up on these boys, right?
Yes, they did. If I had better shoes, I could walk better, but I could still walk.
If you had better shoes, you would have been able to run up on them faster.
No, I mean, I could walk better. I wouldn't stumble. I wouldn't have a hard time walking.
All right, we're going to watch the video again, and I want you to, if you can, point out for everybody where you stumbled.
What is he on? Whoa! 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 Get away!
Did you watch it?
Yes,
So the stumble, is that something you remember or something that you think you see in the video?
something I remembered.
Uh-oh, his
After you
memory.
grabbed onto their tubes, stopped them, walked around their tubes, you took a few steps downriver and stood in the path they were floating in, right?
Objection as to form. Multiple.
Overruled. Do you understand the question, Mr. Mew?
Could you say it again?
After you left their tubes that first time, you took a few steps downstream and stood in their path where they would need to float, where they were floating, right?
For a few seconds, yes.
You didn't walk off to the south shore, which was close at that point, right?
I thought I walked far away from them I didn't even watch them anymore at that point. So I don't know where they were at that point in time. But I was still looking for my goggles now.
Are you denying that you stood right in the path of their tubes?
Objection, argument.
Overruled. You can answer the question.
At that moment in time, yes.
Now, when you ran up on these boys and grabbed onto their tubes and made contact with their legs, you weren't saying anything at that point, right?
No.
You didn't say anything like, hey, I think that's my phone or Ariel's phone.
I don't remember saying anything.
Well, you've seen the video.
Right.
You just ran up and grabbed onto them, right?
It appears that.
Was saying nothing. We can go up to the screen. We're going to look at some more frames here. We're starting 22nd mark, I believe. You stood in front of their tubes, right? This is at the 23-second mark.
For a brief moment.
All right, keep going. Stop. At that point, you had the entire river open to move in any direction, right?
Right.
You chose to just walk a few steps directly downstream from where their tubes were, right?
Correct.
The boys were yelling at you at this point, right? You remember that?
Yep.
They were making a commotion, right? They were loud,
Mm-hmm.
and that attracted the attention of the folks in the Carlson group, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've testified that Maddie Cohen walked over, right?
Yep.
You walked towards her,
Yes.
and the water level at the spot that you had contact with Maddie was about ankle deep from the video.
From the video, yes.
And you told Lieutenant Hart you were standing in really shallow water, right?
Yep.
Maddie told you to leave the area, right?
She didn't say it that way, but yes.
She said, go, go, go.
And
She swore at you too, but she was telling you to go, right?
yeah,
You didn't go.
I was
Right.
trying to communicate with her what I was doing in the river.
You didn't leave, right?
No, not down the river.
Hold on, hold on.
Irrelevant of legal basis.
Overruled. It's relevant.
You did not leave, right?
I
At the
didn't
time
go
that
in
she
the
came up
direction.
and,
No,
when she came up and said, go, 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 you chose to stay, right?
I wanted to talk.
You didn't like that she was yelling at you, right?
I only had like 2 or 3 seconds of direct verbal or whatever.
And you clearly didn't like she was swearing at you, right?
Right.
And what you told her was not that you were looking for a phone, but that these boys took your goggles, right?
I don't remember what I told
Right.
her.
If it's on the video, did you say it?
If it's on the video, yeah,
You never mentioned you were looking for a phone.
I don't remember my conversation with
And in
her.
fact, after you told her that they took your goggles, you never said another word, right?
After that,
Right.
of course I did.
Talking about your anger scale, at the point where Maddie Cohen was yelling at you and pointing at you and swearing at you, where was your anger scale?
1,
And even with your anger scale being only 1, you started touching, fidgeting with the knife in your pocket, right?
I don't remember that.
Let's take a look at the video. We're ready. It's timestamp 135. That's you touching your knife in your pocket, right?
Correct.
And at this point, you've got your back to the 2 girls who were yelling at you, right?
It's possible.
So even though you were fearing for your life, you turned,
Now we said at that time.
Overruled. Let's get the question out.
you turned your back on these folks, right?
Where am I in that location as reference to the other people?
I get to ask the questions at this point, okay?
All right.
You're back at the 135 mark that we just watched. You've turned your back on these folks, right?
Okay.
Is that true?
Yes,
You
I
saw
see
it,
that. Yeah,
right? You're touching your knife, but you got your back to them, right?
I see that in the picture.
And so at that point, you wouldn't have turned your back on these folks if you had fear of them, right?
Objection mischaracterizes his testimony.
Overruled, overruled. You can answer the question. Yes.
Well. Yes, I told you prosecution's going to destroy him. I think it was a bad mistake for him to go on the stand. Once they showed that interview, I'm telling you, that interview did not help him. Also, Amanda, you're funny. I like people like you that come and chat. Hey, people could come in here, having a different opinion, but we all can get along. That's how.
We'll play a
Mr.
clip
Smith,
here.
next question, please.
We're going to play a clip here, Judge. Go back. We're starting at 126. Just play it. We can have the screen. Stop. Stopping at 135. So in that clip, that's the point where you had waved at your friends, right? You had turned your back on the groups of people that were in the area, and you're touching your knife, right? And at that point, you called out to your friends because I think you had said, and maybe I'm wrong, that your fear scale was going up at that point. Is that not right?
I see lots of people around me, and I wanted somebody to be on my side.
Right. Your fear scale was going up, so you tried to wave your buddies over, right?
Creeping up, yeah.
And as it's creeping up, you're fidgeting with your knife.
It appears that way.
At some point, and even though your fear level is creeping up at that point and you've called for help from your friends or at least waved for help, you turned your back, right?
Yes.
At one point, you turn your head and you stare at the group of 17-year-old boys, right? Do you remember doing that?
I don't remember, but if I could see a video.
Put it into context, it would have been at the point when Maddie Cohen tried to turn you away from those boys. Do you remember doing that?
Yes.
And 1 second. If we can get the frame up. We're at timestamp 116. That's the look that you gave to those boys, right? At that time, at 116?
Yes.
That's the look on your face.
Yeah.
That's an angry look.
Not to me. I was annoyed, more than frustrated, but not angry.
At the point where you looked at the boys with that expression on your face, whatever it was, you had the entire river in front of you open to walk to, right? That's true.
Correct.
And instead you chose to turn back around where Maddie Cohen was, right?
I stood my ground. I basically stayed in the same location.
Right.
I didn't go towards anybody at that point.
You didn't take a step away either,
You
did
can
you?
only stand
No.
your ground
And at that point then,
in your
that's when
home.
Riley Madison joins her. And you've got Madison and Riley standing in front of you, right?
I suppose that's the time. Yeah.
2 girls.
Yeah.
And these 2 girls standing in front of you touched your shoulders somewhat, right?
Mhm.
You never, is that a yes?
Yes.
You never stumbled backwards or anything like that.
It wasn't somewhat, but
Well, let's take a look at the video. We're going to start a little bit earlier than the part I wanted to start at. It's at the 135 mark again, if we can put this screen up. You take the screen down. Starting at 134. So at that point, you're touching your knife before Maddie and Riley are standing in front of you, right?
appears that way.
Stop. You had said that your fear level was rising.
Mhm.
You had waved to your friends, right? That was the look on your face at the time, correct?
Mhm.
You're smiling.
I'm confused.
You're smiling.
I'm confused.
You're not smiling?
That's not a smile.
Yes, let's move on, please.
Should you turn the screen on? Can we get the screen back? Stop. All right, so you had been fidgeting with your knife multiple times. You've got Riley Madison in front of you. I believe her testimony was she's a 115-pound woman. You got Maddie Cohen on your other side. This is when you choose to pull out your knife, right?
Overruled. Understand the question?
What does her weight have to do with me?
So you don't get to ask the
Oh, I'm
questions
sorry.
at this point. You pulled out your knife at this point with these two girls standing in front of you, right?
Yes,
And you held it down by your belt line, right?
yes,
And you open it up, right?
yes.
And this is before you had been punched or anything like that. You had that knife ready with these two girls standing in front of you.
Objection as to use of the term girls or women.
Women, pardon me,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And you didn't hold it up and say, hey, I have a knife, right?
To me, that would be a threat.
Well, I'm not asking you that. You did not hold it up.
No,
And you didn't, in fact, you held it down by your side, right?
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
Isn't that what you did?
yes,
You didn't take a step back and brandish it and say, hey, back up, I have a knife, right?
correct.
You opened it down low and then you held it down low by your side, right?
Correct.
And as you're doing that, You're smiling, right?
That's not a smile.
Well, let's take a look at the video.
I'm overwhelmed and annoyed.
And that's you holding your knife down by your belt line, right?
Yes.
When you pulled it out and opened it up, you held it with the blade facing up, right?
I didn't pay attention, but in the video, yes.
And it becomes important later when you stab AJ, because you didn't try to cut him down, you cut him up, right? Right?
That was not my intent.
Overruled. I believe the witness answered the question.
You had the knife blade up and you're saying you didn't know that?
I didn't pay attention.
As you're holding it there, you've got your thumb
Oh, come on now.
on the bottom of the handle, right? Right?
Yeah,
Blade up.
I see that.
Blade's pointing at, looks like at Maddie Cohen, right?
Yes.
Nobody else. I'll strike that. After you opened that knife, would it be fair to say that your fear level went down a little bit because now you had your knife open?
No.
All right. Was your fear level going up at that point? I think you said that earlier.
The whole situation was boiling up.
So when you have your knife open, you take a couple step backwards to get away from the situation?
I stood my ground. I stayed in place.
You never backed up one step, did you?
No,
You had your knife out and you were prepared to use it.
to defend myself.
At that point, there's nothing to defend yourself from, right?
I didn't know that.
If I understand your testimony today, now you're acknowledging that you did do something to Maddie Cohen, which started off this fight, right?
Objection argumentative.
Overruled. You can answer the question.
Objection, police probe.
Yes.
Yeah, looky there. Look what's going on now. Right? You know what? Bottom line, he should have put his hands up in the air with that knife and say, I have a knife.
Mr. Smestad, would you please rephrase the question?
I will, Your Honor. You're testifying today that you did actually make physical contact with Maddie Cohen, right? Before you were punched or anything else, right?
I may have.
You don't remember that?
Well, I remember what I said, but I went over to push. She was right in my face, right in my space, yelling, and I could smell the alcohol in her breath.
But you had been drinking too, so it might have been your breath.
I didn't have vodka and all the other garbage.
My
Right.
point is, today you testified that you did something physical to Madison Cohen before you were punched, right?
Mm.
Correct?
I don't know if I touched her or not. It's possible that I did.
If your friend Sergio testified last week that he saw you push her and she went flying back a couple of steps, that's what happened, right?
Objection as to form.
Sustained.
Were you present when Sergio testified?
Objection as to form and relevance.
Sustained.
after you pushed Maddie Cohen, only one person ever punched you, right?
From the video,
Right.
that's what I see. I don't remember what happened then at that time.
I'm not asking you what you remember. I'm asking what actually happened.
I got punched.
Objection, no foundation.
Sustain, rephrase the question,
We
starter.
saw in the video that only one person ever punched you, right?
Yes.
Objection.
It's crossed. It's not
Hold
legal.
on. Yes.
Oh my God, that is awful. That noise drives me nuts. Oh no. Uh-oh, my dog. Hold on. All right, that was scary. I hate it when she does that. I got a little Pomeranian and she was just choking on something. Nothing's in her mouth though. All right. Bit of hand talking. The angers. Yes, yes. Sounds like a show I preferred the sidebar. Oh, funny. But who was he nodding at? Did you see that? Oh, never mind. I got this on mute. Oh,
Fell back in the water and hit your head, right?
Yes.
You did not drop your knife.
No.
Right? You held on to it when you fell down into the water.
Yes.
When Dante Carlson hit you, he was holding a can of beer in one hand, right?
Yes.
He was fighting you with one hand.
Yes.
You never suffered any kind of bruising or cuts to your face from this incident, right?
On the inside of my cheek.
You cut the inside of your cheek.
Yes.
Yeah, you never had any bruising on your jaw, right?
I don't remember. I mean, I had a beard. I couldn't tell.
You weren't bleeding from your face anywhere.
No, not that I know.
Let's play the video of him stabbing you. Once you're knocked down in the water, AJ Madison comes up to you and pushes on your back, right?
Objection, no foundation.
Sustained.
We'll play the video. You were pushed in the back by AJ Madison, right?
Objection, no foundation.
Overruled.
In response, you got up out of the water, right?
Mhm.
You take your knife in your right hand with the blade up, right?
Objection is in narration.
Overruled.
That's what you did, right?
Still in my hand. Yes, that way.
You jabbed it into his belly.
About the same time he hit me in the throat.
That's not what I'm asking. You
Yes.
jabbed it into his belly, right?
Yes.
Instead of pulling it out, you pulled up, right?
Because I had so much time to think about it.
You pulled up.
I did not pull up.
Okay,
Look at the angle of my arm.
We're stopped at timestamp 156. You see your knife,
Yes.
how close it is to his jaw, his chin?
Yes.
That's because when you stabbed him, instead of pulling out, you went up, right?
I was falling backwards with the knife in my arm, in my hand, and the angle of my arm was about the same. Just got hit in the throat.
In this frame of the video, the knife's pointing straight up, right?
Yes.
You went in, pulled up, and it's by the time you got done up by his face, your knife's pointing straight up.
Objection.
Overruled. You can answer the question.
It's straight up.
At that point, Tony Carlson came in to break up the fight.
Objection. Speculation. He doesn't know what Tony Carlson's doing.
Overruled. You can ask the question. He can answer.
I don't know what he was doing.
You know that he told Dante Carlson to back up, right?
Objection. No foundation.
Overruled.
Do I know from video and from testimony? Yes. At the time, I didn't know.
After you stabbed AJ Madison, you were pushed back into the water, right?
Just sorry, it's AJ Carlson.
Pardon me. No, it's not. It's not.
AJ Martin.
It's AJ Madison. He's not part of the Carlson family. AJ Martin.
Thank you.
Pardon me. After you stabbed AJ Martin, you were pushed back into the water, right?
Yes.
Nobody jumped on top of you.
No.
Nobody was kicking at you or punching you.
No.
You're just in the water by yourself, right?
Apparently, yes.
We're going to take a look at the video starting at 1:55. That's you in the water, still holding your knife, right? Pardon me, this is before you got up. At this point, you're standing there. There's nobody hitting you, nobody's punching you, nobody's kicking you, right?
Objection. That's the video. He's not standing.
Gentlemen, please come up.
Let me tell you something. Aaron, defense attorney, drives me nuts. Just saying.
We're going to take a look at the video starting at 1:55. That's you in the water, still holding your knife, right? Pardon me, this is before you got up. At this point, you're standing there. There's nobody hitting you, nobody's punching you, nobody's kicking you, right?
Objection. That's the video. He's not standing.
Gentlemen, please come up.
What, again?
500 pounds.
Oh,
After you stabbed Tony Carlson, you turned around, you got up, you turned around, and you sliced Riley Madison through her left side of her body, right?
Yes.
She wasn't punching you or kicking you.
She came at me and she had her hands on me.
At the time you stabbed her, she had her hands on you.
Yes.
This 115-pound woman attacked you while you're standing there holding a knife.
She could have been 500 pounds. I don't know. I'm sorry, sir, but
You've never told anyone ever that Riley Madison attacked you and that's why you stabbed her, right?
I don't remember this whole thing.
After you stabbed Riley Madison, Isaac Schumann tries to push you, right?
And he lands his hands on my throat. Yes.
But his hands originally weren't anywhere near your throat. They were on your shoulder and your chest, right?
I didn't take measurements, but yeah. From the picture, yes.
And as soon as he touches you, you stab up into his heart with your knife, right?
Overruled.
He went for my throat, and I defended myself. Yes.
Are you saying, we're going to look at the video. We're going to start at 2:02, and for anybody who doesn't want to watch, you might want to avert your eyes. Ready? Stop it with his hands. Get on him. Right there. What's the time? 2:05. We're at 2:05, the timestamp on the video. That's Isaac Schumann, right? If you don't,
Right.
his left hand on your arm, right?
Right.
His right hand on your chest, right?
Right.
They're not on your throat.
In that particular frame, correct.
And your right hand is cocked, your elbow's bent, right?
Okay.
And you've got the knife in your hand.
Yes.
Let's play it through, please. And as he's pushing you, you jam your knife up into his heart through his rib cage, right?
After he touches my throat and pushes me back, yes, correct.
As your arm is moving up to stab him, you actually moved his arm closer up your, or farther up your body with your own movement, right?
I don't know how to answer that. I didn't see that.
At the time that this incident happened, you agree you weighed 248 pounds?
Yes.
Not one of these people that you stabbed so far in the video were armed in any fashion, right?
Right.
You told an elaborate story about people pulling knives on you, right?
Overruled.
Right? You made up that story.
To Brandy Hart?
Lieutenant Hart, yes.
I don't remember that, but I saw the video, yes.
At no point did anybody pull any knife on you, right?
Correct.
You're the only person who had a knife.
Correct.
You had said earlier that you had waved for your friends to come over because you were so scared, right? Right?
During we're moving back in time now?
Oh, yeah. Earlier you had waved. We saw
Yes.
the video. You said
Yes.
you'd waved to your friends
Yes.
because you were scared. Your fear level was at whatever. And in fact, Ariel came over, right?
Yes.
And he's in the group at the point that Riley Madison's standing there bleeding into the river, right? He's standing
Yes.
right behind her.
Yep.
And at the time that you stabbed Tony Carlson, Ariel's right there, right in the group, correct?
I see that in the video, yes.
And when you stabbed Isaac Schumann, he's also standing there, right?
I didn't see him there at the time, but yes, in the video, yes.
So this narrative about it being 13-on-1, you had a friend there, right?
Overruled.
Your friend was standing right there. He's in the video, right?
In the video. I don't remember him being there.
But you saw him coming, walking downstream.
I don't remember.
You waved for him, right?
I waved at my group.
At no point when you stabbed Tony, Riley, and Isaac, did you call out to your friend and say, hey, help me, they're attacking me, right? Even though he's in the frame and he's close to the action, so to speak. You never said that, right?
I was stunned. Couldn't talk.
The last person you stabbed was Dante Carlson, right?
Yes,
And this is in the sequence of events, everything else had happened, right?
yes,
Objection at the form, I don't know what everything else.
Sustained.
All the other stabbings had already occurred, right? At the point that you stabbed Dante Carlson.
yes.
He wasn't punching you at that point.
I was surrounded. People were coming at me. I just came up a couple of times, being punched in the head, punched in the mouth. I fell on river rocks. I was in pain. I was hurting.
Tony Carlson had broken up the fight between you and Dante never hit you again after that, did he?
Objection, that's.
Sustained form. Please rephrase.
At the point that you stabbed Dante Carlson, he was not fighting with you, right?
Correct,
He had not punched you immediately before you decided to stab him.
correct.
In fact, you took a couple steps toward him to stab him, didn't you?
I thought he was attacking me.
So at that point, you stabbed 5 people and you decide to leave the area. Is that true?
I walked away.
You walked up to Ernesto, right?
Yes,
You didn't say anything about being attacked, right?
I was in shock.
You said, they took my knife, right? To Ernesto?
I
what
don't
you said.
remember that, but that's what I said according to all the video and
Well, if Ernesto said that, that's what you
Yes.
said.
Yeah.
You still got the knife on your person, right? Even though you just told them they took your knife, you still had it. Right?
no. When I reached the tubes,
No. When Ernesto came walking up and you walked up to him, you told him they took my knife. It's the first thing out of your mouth, right?
I don't remember that.
Okay. Instead of walking to your group, you walked up to the south side, south shore of the lake, of the river, right?
Yes,
And on the way, you washed off the knife in the river.
I don't remember that.
Well, you had blood on your hand and on the knife, right?
Yes,
When you left the area, right?
yeah,
When you got back to your group, nobody saw any blood on your hands or, right?
Objection, foundation. You didn't know what-
Sustained.
At some point, you rinsed your hand and the knife in the water, right?
I don't remember that. But
What you do remember is throwing the knife up into the bushes on the south bank.
Selective memory.
right on the bank, yes.
And then you finally walked over to your group, right?
As I was walking, I threw it away, yes.
No. You walked out of your way to get to the south bank to get rid of it and then walked back across the river to your group, right?
Objection, argumentative.
Overruled.
That's what you did, right?
Yes,
We're gonna play the video taken by Larry and Davis, Judge. It's grainy, but it's of some value.
You have many more questions?
Yes.
Well, maybe this will be a good time to take a break. Let's recess and we'll come back at 2:50. Please take the jury out.
All rise for the jury.
We're in recess until 2:50.
Why do they keep taking breaks?
Please
And
face the
good
clerk. Raise your
afternoon
right.
from our live streaming center here. For what it is unscientific.
right,
Mr.
please be
Smeestad
seated.
will continue with his questions right here.
All right, Mr. Mew, please retake the witness stand. You are still under oath. Mr. Smestad.
Mr. Mew, I want to ask you some more questions about the stabbing of Dante Carlson. Is it fair to say that you did not know that Larry and Davis was recording that part of it?
No.
And you've seen that video here in court?
Yeah.
You are the person in the dark shorts, correct? In that video?
It was not very clear, so I couldn't make out who was who.
Right. If there's a person wearing dark shorts with the same body type as you in the video, is it you?
Fair.
Hold on. Sustained.
Well, we're going to watch the video. We're going to watch it through at full speed. Your screen's not on. We're going to play part of it, but slower, but not the end part. We're ready. What's the time? Yeah. This is at the very beginning. And Mr. Mew, do you see yourself in the left-hand side foreground wearing the dark shorts? Where the cursor's pointed?
I can't make out.
You don't know if that's you?
No.
Did anyone else on the river have the same body shape that you had at the time?
Objection, no foundation.
Sustained.
You've been in court since the beginning of the trial, right?
Correct.
You've seen all these people testify,
Yes.
the people that were all involved in the incident, right?
Yes.
At the time that you stabbed these folks, there wasn't anybody else in that area of the river that had the same body shape as you, correct?
Objection, no foundation.
Sustained. It's the same question.
You're aware that Dante Carlson's wearing shorts that are black on the bottom and light gray on top, right?
That's what I learned.
We're going to go through it slowly.
Yes.
Oh my God, again, come on now.
Torres, he's your best friend?
Yes,
You didn't tell him what happened as you were floating away?
I didn't talk to him. I don't remember talking to anybody. I don't even remember going down the river or up the river. I was just stunned. I don't remember anything.
You didn't tell Ernesto, I was afraid for my life and I did this?
No,
You never told Ernesto that I acted in self-defense?
I didn't. I don't remember talking to anybody.
You didn't say I was afraid they were going to kill me, these folks?
Objection, no foundation. He said he doesn't.
I don't remember.
As you were leaving the area, you saw folks giving CPR to Isaac Schumann, right?
I didn't see that.
All right. Eventually, you made it down to Village Park where the exit was, right?
Eventually,
And there's some video of you relaxed in your tube, kind of playing in the water with your hand, right?
Objection is to form.
Sustained.
Do you remember seeing the video of you
I remember seeing the video.
relaxing in your tube before you got back to the end?
Objection is to form.
Sustained.
Did you see the video or not?
I said I did.
When you got to Village Park, your group exited the river, right?
Yes,
There was multiple police in the area, right?
yes,
You saw a uniformed officer with his gun drawn, walking towards you, right?
right.
You didn't approach that officer.
I was afraid of everybody at
You were
that
afraid
time.
you were afraid of the officer?
I was afraid of anything and everybody. I was afraid of anything. I couldn't, I was still in shock, so I was afraid of everything.
Oh,
Yes,
Jesus.
You didn't approach the officer and say, they tried to kill me, I defended myself, nothing like that, right?
I don't remember saying anything like that to anybody.
You walked right by him, right?
All that is a blur. I don't remember it.
Once you got further up the path, though, other officers were able to pick you out of your group, right?
Apparently, yes.
They stopped you, right, before you could leave the park.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember the police stopping you and detaining you in the park after this incident?
I remember being stopped, but I don't remember the details.
Sure. You were aware that the police had a picture of you from the river, right?
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Do you remember the police had to take your hat and glasses off to make sure that it was you in the picture?
Nope. I was focused on one thing only. Somebody with a bat that I've seen in the woods and across that whatever bridge, the little bridge,
Oh,
Rainbow Bridge, whatever. I was focused on him. I was very afraid of that person.
Did you ever say to an officer, hey, there's a guy over there with a bat and that's concerning me. Can you do something about it?
No.
You're put into a squad car, right?
Hmm.
But yes,
Yes,
wow.
Sheriff Knudsen came over to make sure you were comfortable, right?
I saw that in the video. Yes.
You don't remember talking to Sheriff Knudsen?
No.
You remember him asking you, well, if you don't remember, you don't remember. We're going to play that video and then I have some questions for you.
Like I said, selective memory.
Your Honor, this is the longer version of the video
This is
that's been
better
referenced.
there?
It's a minute and 59 seconds.
Well, it is a nightmare.
Tell us when you're ready.
You would remember every detail. That's a nightmare.
Camera recording started.
Still doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going
Temperature's okay in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear somebody got stabbed, and I fit the description.
Yes, you do.
All right.
Yep. So we're working through that now. Did you see that fight on the river?
I heard about it.
You heard about it?
Yeah, and I seen people gather around it.
Okay. All right.
And I went over to talk to see if somebody saw anything, but that's about it.
Okay.
Our whole group was pretty interested in finding out what happened.
Okay. And that's your whole group over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
right.
I don't know. Okay, well,
Did you see anybody injured?
no,
You didn't see anybody injured?
No.
Did you see anybody fighting?
I heard people screaming at each other, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Screaming in anger or screaming in pain, do you know?
Everybody's drunk, so I don't know. I can't tell the difference, but I would say, I don't know, just screaming. You
Okay.
know, yeah, calling each other names. But, that's, I've seen that all day. And we've all been drinking a lot. I'm sure they're drunk. I'm sure they're doing, I don't know, kids being kids.
Kids being kids. Where are you? Where's your group from? Where did you drive from today?
Oh, I drove from Prior Lake.
From Prior Lake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't drive it. We came here.
Your wife and you? And you met the group here?
Yeah, but we know each other.
Okay. All right. As long as the temperature's good, I'll check back with you in a minute, okay? Thank you. You lied to Sheriff Knudsen, right?
I don't remember that conversation. But yes,
Yeah, but you put on a disguise.
In fact, you told him that you heard there was a stabbing, right?
I don't remember any of this stuff.
You're fishing for information about what happened, right?
I don't know what you could say I was fishing. I don't know.
You asked him some questions about what had happened, right?
Again, I don't remember this conversation.
But you were pretending that you didn't know what happened. Is that true?
No.
At the point that you were talking to Sheriff Knudsen and saying these things, you didn't know there was a video of what happened on the river, did you?
I didn't know whether I was dead or alive at that point.
But you also didn't know that there was a video, right?
No.
When the sheriff asked you what had happened, one of your responses was it was kids being kids, right?
I don't remember any of that conversation.
You just heard yourself say it on the video, though.
So
Objection, no foundation.
I'll move on. Prior to being taken to jail, you were transferred from that squad car that you were in to a different squad car, right? Remember that? You remember at some point Deputy Thomason telling you that you were under arrest for homicide and attempted homicide?
I don't remember any of that.
When you spoke with Lieutenant Hart, even though you'd been informed that you were being arrested for homicide, you pretended to know that, to not be aware that someone had died, right? Right? When you were talking to Lieutenant Hart, you,
Over here at the jail?
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that conversation.
you don't recall pretending to not be aware that someone had died.
Objection assumes a fact.
Sustained.
When you're talking to Lieutenant Hart, that was about 4 hours after you'd been arrested, right?
Yeah, that's what I learned.
And then you had time to put together a story, right?
No,
Overruled.
You had 4 hours to come up with a story about what happened on the river before you were interviewed by Lieutenant Hart, right?
no,
You didn't have that time.
I didn't put a story together.
So when you told her things like, 2 of these boys pulled knives on me, you're telling the truth?
No,
That was a story, right?
correct.
And when you said that you somehow managed to grab one of the boys' arms and bend their wrist back and stab them with their own knife, that's a story you made up, right?
I told her what I remembered.
You remember doing that?
No, everything I told her is what I remembered at that time.
At the time you told her these things, you thought that you would grab someone's arm and stab them with their own knife?
As you can see, I was very confused.
Did you not testify earlier that you lied about the knife?
That I did.
And then nobody else had a knife on the river except for you.
That I lied about the knife.
So it's impossible then for you to have twisted someone's arm and stabbed them with their own knife, right?
I saw the video.
No, I'm asking what you said to Lieutenant Hart.
I don't remember the interview, but I saw the video. And
You're aware.
I know that it's not right. It's not true.
Not just a couple of little lies, but lie on top of lie to Lieutenant Hart, right?
Argumentative.
Sustained.
Well, let's talk about some of the things you told her. You said, these boys took the goggles off my head and threw them down the river, right? You told her that?
If that's what the video recorded, yes.
All right. You told her that these boys tried to pull down your shorts, right?
That's what I saw in the video, but I don't remember the interview.
That's a detail you added for your benefit, right?
No,
You said these boys attacked you, right? You told her that multiple times, right?
I saw the video.
Did you say that or not? Yes or
I
no?
said that in the video. Yes.
And you knew that wasn't true, right?
So in the video, I lied. I totally lied about the knife. I didn't remember a lot of details. I didn't remember of anything. I don't even remember the interview. I just looking at the video. It's I can look at it like anybody would look at it for the first time. I don't remember any of that.
You told Lieutenant Hart that these boys told you, don't run away from us. You remember saying that?
No.
In fact, it's just the opposite. They were telling you to go, right?
I don't remember.
You told her that a second boy had a knife, attacked you with the knife, and you took that from him, right?
That's what I saw in the video.
That's not true either, right? Right?
That's not true.
You said that when you walked back to your group, and this is talking to Lieutenant Hart, that Ernesto asked you if you had found the phone, right? You remember saying that to her?
I don't remember any of that conversation I had with her.
Yeah, that wasn't true either, right?
If this is all part of that interview, I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
So
That's what we're talking about. We're talking
Right.
about the interview with Lieutenant Hart.
then I don't remember the interview.
Well, you
I
still
still
need
get
to
to ask you
answer the
questions about
questions.
You were specifically asked, did you have a knife? Right? Do you remember being asked that?
I don't remember that, but I know I was.
Your
Really?
answer to Lieutenant Hart was no, no, absolutely no, right?
Right. Which I lied. I know I lied about the knife.
You said to her, why did they want to scare me with a knife? Right? Talking about the boys, I mean, the 17-year-olds. When none of them ever had a knife, right? Is that right?
Apparently not.
You said I grabbed it, meaning the knife, from him because he tried to poke me with it. Do you remember saying that?
Nope.
You said a woman hit you in the ear. Do you remember saying that?
Nope.
You know that's not true, right?
Objection, foundation.
Overruled.
You know that's not true as you sit here now, right?
Right.
You told the police and Lieutenant Hart, I think, that you thought it was two different groups of people fighting against each other, right?
I don't remember telling her that.
You know, as you sit here today, that is completely made up, right?
Again, I don't remember any of that you're talking about right now, if it's
told-
about the interview.
You told Lieutenant Hart that you wanted to stay in the area and, watch the police come and arrest these people for fighting, right? That's what you told Lieutenant Hart?
That's what's in the transcript, yes.
When you were told that a person had died, your response was, is it because they fought each other? That's what you told her, right? That's how you responded?
If it's in the transcript. But I don't remember.
You never told Lieutenant Hart that you punched or pushed or did anything to Maddie Cohen, right? You left that part out?
Is that what it's in there? Then
Asking if you ever told her that.
I don't remember.
You didn't mention that you had stabbed and severely injured another woman, Riley Madison. You didn't mention that to Lieutenant Hart, right?
Overruled.
You never mentioned that part.
I don't remember.
You didn't mention being strangled at any point, right?
If that's the transcript, then that we go by that, but I don't remember that interview.
And I think what you said earlier is that you were afraid you were going to die from being strangled, and that's why you stabbed Isaac Schumann in the heart, right? That was your testimony earlier? Did you say that today, this
Look at that
afternoon
book.
here in court?
Yes,
That's not anything you mentioned to any police officer, right?
I can't remember.
if I didn't mention, I didn't mention it. I don't remember that.
That's not an important detail that you thought you might want to point out.
Objection argument.
Overruled.
Everything is every detail is important. We all know that. But
Um,
I don't remember saying any of those things to Lieutenant Hart.
Because you didn't say them, right? That's why you don't remember.
Is what?
You didn't say those things to her. That's why you don't remember, correct?
I don't remember what I said or what I didn't say to her. I don't remember even having an interview with her.
So you can't remember anything about what you told her, but when Mr. Nelson's asking you questions, you can remember all these feelings you had at the time. Is that true? Answering his questions about how you were feeling that day?
The feelings I had when I was attacked.
And when you were meeting with the Lieutenant Hart?
Objection, that's. Can you approach?
Hey, guys.
Yes.
Hey, guys. Just thought I'd let you know that he doesn't remember anything. So no more questioning of him because he don't remember nothing. Okay? That's what he says. Don't ask him no more questions. Here we go.
Oh, it is out.
Didn't
If
Dieter,
investigator can approach the witness, Your Honor.
Yes.
didn't Aaron,
We're showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 4, I guess item 10.
oh, didn't I
That's your knife, right?
show it to the jury?
Yes,
Show it to the jury.
That's the knife you used to stab these people.
that's the knife I used to defend myself with. Yes.
Oh. Wow. You did stab those people, dude.
I asked you earlier about when you stabbed Dante Carlson. You agreed that he was not attacking you at the point that you stabbed him. He was the last person stabbed, right?
He attacked me.
Earlier, when you stabbed him, Tony Carlson had already broke up the fight, right? You said you agreed to that earlier.
At that time, everybody that came in contact with me attacked me.
Anybody who looked at you?
No, anybody that came in contact with me, I felt attacked.
You felt attacked whether you're being physically attacked or not, right?
I thought,
I was in the moment, so I felt attacked by anybody that had either previously attacked me or was approaching to attack me.
oh my,
So you
Ooh.
felt like you could stab folks who are not attacking you at the moment that you stabbed them.
did you see that head nod? Like, how
You
dare you?
walked up to Dante Carlson and stabbed him in the belly, right?
I did not walk up to
Oh my
Dante
God.
Carlson and stab him in the belly.
Oh, you took a step forward.
I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
I gotta
Mr. Nicolae?
play that video. No, I don't want to play that video. No,
You
don't want
asked
to see
questions
it.
about your fitness on July 30th. I want to ask you some questions about that, okay? Just maybe we can get it done in one question. Did you feel fit enough to take on 13 teenagers and adults in a fight by yourself without a weapon?
I didn't, no.
Well, then why'd you go down there?
You were asked some questions about what happened with each of these people, right? And you were shown some stills.
Mhm.
Were you in court when, do you know how many frames are in per second of these videos?
I learned they're like 24, 25.
So one frame is a 24th of a second, is that right?
Correct.
When you were in that, let me play the video. I'm going to play exhibit 2.
Are you connected?
I think so. Before I am.
Yeah, start over. I don't have anything on my monitor either.
That's not the screen I'm looking at, Judge. I apologize. My screen looks like that.
Screen is this with the library.
That was my, that's my home screen, but. Let me take another chance here, Judge, sorry.
There's Isaac's mother. She's crying. No, Amanda, remember, his feelings were
See
hurt.
what it looks like for a second.
They were calling him names. Did you forget, Amanda?
Okay, that's.
Kinda. Just everything that came out of his mouth was a lie.
I don't know, Judge, maybe I need to take a break. I'm looking at my screen and it shows the video, so I apologize. I'm flummoxed.
This is Exhibit 2,
This is Exhibit 2. I want to play it from the 150 mark where you, for 14 seconds.
in the spirit of cooperation, are you able to use your exhibit?
Sure. Apologize, sorry. Just started right there. The video, please. We can start the video at 150, just when he's. All right, before we press play, Mr. Mew, do you see what's on the screen there at 149?
Yes,
Is that you falling backwards?
yes.
I want to press play and ask him to stop it at 2:05, okay?
Hey,
Okay.
Please press play.
He ain't a woman! He ain't a woman!
Did you observe those 16 seconds or so?
Yes,
Were you, if there's 24 frames a second and we watch for 16 seconds, as you sit here now, are you able to break down exactly what happened in each of those 284 frames? I mean, do you have a memory of
No.
1/24 of a second
no,
for
absolutely not.
how, as far as time goes, if you can, and I apologize, but if you can, just put yourself back in that space for a moment.
Mhm.
Can you do that?
Yes,
When you're back in that space, on that river, in that time, did you seem like you had 284 different chances to do different things and feel different things?
Oh, no.
How did time feel in that moment?
It stood still. It's a fog.
it was not real. Everything was not real. Time wasn't following the same rules.
When you,
You weren't following the rules.
Slow, very slow.
when you said you didn't have a memory of some of the details, but you had a memory of the feelings, can you explain, how is that?
So feelings are brought on by what's happening, at least with me. If you get hit in the head, that's a feeling of hurt. If you fall back and you hit your head, you fall back on river rock and you get hurt, you feel pain. When you know you can't get away and you feel like you're drowning and there are people on top of you pounding you and holding you in the water, that's a timestamp in a filing cabinet that says this is what I suffered.
You
It's
exactly, go ahead, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's something I would love to erase from my memory, but unfortunately, there are lots of those feelings, very strong feelings I can't erase.
How confident are you in the accuracy of your feelings?
I know my feelings. I lived with my feelings for 54 years.
How about this feeling? How confident are you in the accuracy of this feeling that you're
100% confident that is my feeling. 100% confident.
even if you can't remember the details of everything you saw,
Correct.
even if you can't remember the details of everything you heard?
Right.
Let me, because there were some questions and I want to just make sure we cover it, right?
Mhm.
AJ Do you remember each of these acts that you're charged with, each of these acts of stabbing?
No,
Do you remember the particulars, that is, I should say, the particulars of like X person did this or Y person did this or Z person did this?
no,
Do you have any memory of just randomly stabbing people?
no.
What is your memory as to why you did what you did?
I was afraid for my life, and what I did, I had to do to defend myself.
Do you have a memory of stabbing anybody that didn't come towards you or attack you or touch you or push you or hit you?
No,
Did you ever just randomly go up and hit somebody?
no,
Do you have any memory of Tony Carlson trying to break anything up?
no.
You were asked about that, but I know there's some frames on that. Do you remember the frame in which Tony Carlson's coming up from behind and pushing you?
I didn't know who it was, but I remember being held in the water. I mean, it's a feeling that it gives me the nightmares, the trauma that was caused by
Oh my
that.
God. Oh, he
That's the trauma that I remember.
There were asked some questions there at the end about the Larian Davis video. Could you make anything out in there?
No, I thought I was looking at Sasquatch.
Do you remember anything about Dante? Dante Carlson is the person on the video previously that we saw here that had hit you. You know that, correct?
Yeah.
And he's the person in those two-tone shorts, correct?
Yeah.
Do you have a memory of how it came to be that you defended yourself against him that's not on the Jawan Cockfield video?
No.
You remember him coming up to you?
I remember lots of people coming onto me. I couldn't distinguish who. I don't remember color of shorts or anything like that.
Did you ever swing or hit the knife out of anger?
No.
Why'd you use the knife?
Because I'm a mechanical engineer, I use it as a tool. But what I used it for that day, I used it to save my life for self-defense.
That's all.
Mr. Smestad?
So, Mr. Mew,
Wow.
you hear over and over again that there was 13 people there and you're there by yourself, right?
Apparently, yes.
But we know that's not true because Ariel was behind you.
Objection.
Sustained.
13 people did not attack you, correct?
Looking at the evidence, correct. In the picture at the time, I didn't know that.
13 people were using words that you didn't like, right?
In action, right?
2 women touched you on your shoulders and arms, right?
They didn't just touch me on my shoulders and arms. You know that.
You were 250 pounds at the time,
You don't like women.
right?
Yes,
And these women touching your arms caused you to fear for your life.
they're not touching.
Objection.
See objection.
That's not the evidence. That's not what he said.
Again, members of the jury, disregard what the attorneys say because what they say is not evidence. What the witness says is the evidence that you rely on. Next question.
You said the time slowed down for you on redirect, right? You said the rules didn't apply, time slowed down.
To me, at that time, everything felt different.
If time had slowed down, you would have time to consider your actions, right?
If it did slow down, yes. So I was wrong when I said it slowed down, but yes.
But that's what you said, right?
I understand.
You never told the SART nurse that you had been drowning, right?
Objection beyond the scope.
Overruled.
I don't remember what I told the doctor.
You never told Lieutenant Hart that you had been drowning?
I don't remember.
Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Mew. You may step back at the table. You need a few minutes?
Just a couple minutes, yes, please.
All right, let's come back at 3:45. Please take the jury out.
All right, to the jury.
We're in recess, 3:45.
Carl, I just want to talk to you.
Okay.
We'll have to chat real quick.
And good afternoon from our Fox 9 streaming center. You've, of course, been watching our Gavel to Gavel.
Wisconsin. Headline bitch. Your comment here? Let's see. You thought he was guilty until you saw the entire video? Headline bitch, did we watch the same video? Huh? Just so people know, my headline bitch, she's my friend. So don't think that, I'm being mean. This man should face his consequences for his actions.
Praying for my life.
You stabbed the guy who tried to break up the fight twice, right?
Objection. One.
Overruled.
That's what happened, right?
That's what happened.
And luckily for him, he was able to block your first stab, so you stabbed him again, right?
I
Okay.
had milliseconds to think.
It has to be horrific
Riley
for all of
Madison,
them. I will, I'll say that.
after you stabbed Tony Carlson, you turned around, you got up, you turned around, and you sliced Riley Madison through her left side of her body, right?
Yes.
She wasn't punching you or kicking you.
She came at me. She had her hands on me.
At the time you stabbed her, she had her hands on you.
Yes.
No, she didn't.
This 115-pound woman attacked you while you're standing there holding a knife.
She could have been 500 pounds.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm sorry, sir, but
You've never told anyone ever that Riley Madison attacked you and that's why you stabbed her, right?
Oh, there's my headline bitch.
no.
You're saying it today for the first time.
Okay. Headline bitch.
I don't remember.
I guess this is the first case I've ever been judgmental before, until the end. Okay. The video I couldn't get past. Okay. Many reasons. I'm not going to go there. But then when I seen his interview with the police, that's going to do him in. Him going on the stand like that did not help him, in my opinion. My humble opinion. And I've been here, okay, to Apple River several times. And in all the years that it's been open, this has never happened. Ever. And like I told everybody, it's nothing but a big party. For real.
This whole thing.
A witness or two. Their list does suggest one or two more names. or the defense could rest and we could sort of head towards closing arguments, which would then get
Ooh,
underway
that'd be
tomorrow
nice
morning.
closing.
I'm seeing some heads
Ah,
move in the
Chad
courtroom. That
gave
usually
us hearing
suggests that the
search
parties
tomorrow.
are ready to go or getting their stuff, their things in order to come back in.
That's okay
We'll see
because
where we
that's
go.
covering
Nicolae
this.
Miu, by my count, nearly the 50th witness called when you combine both sides,
Uh-oh.
47 by my count. We are 7 days into this trial, a trial that was
Hold on, it's my daughter.
initially slated to last about 2 weeks. They had booked and told this jury to go all of last week and then through Friday this week. As we know now, they are ahead of schedule. Nicolae Miu there wrapping up his testimony. One piece of evidence that did come in on rebuttal, I'm a little anxious whether we should show it to you or not again, but let's give it a shot and we can always dump out it if we need to. A key conversation Miu had with the sheriff of St. Croix County on July 30th, 2022. Miu is under arrest. He's in the back of the squad car. He has not been Mirandized. So initially this interview did not come in, but to impeach his witness testimony, the state was allowed to introduce it during their cross-examination. Let's go back again, July 30th, 2022. Nicolae Miu said on the stand today he didn't even remember this conversation, but here he is talking to the county sheriff shortly after the stabbings.
Still doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going
Temperature's okay in here?
on? Yeah.
Okay.
I hear somebody got stabbed. And I fit the description.
Headlight bitch. No, it's okay. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. We'll find out after this break. If they don't, it sounds like tomorrow we'll be closing arguments. Allegedly, I don't know. Riley did not touch him. Nope, she didn't. She was in his face, and maybe she shouldn't have been in his face, but, you know. But you don't put hands on others. And you most definitely don't stab anybody because your feelings are hurt.
Certainly in that last
Please be
phase of
seated.
the afternoon.
Mr. Trophesy, is there another witness? Mr. Nelson?
The defense rests.
All right, defense rests. Mr. Anderson, will there be a rebuttal?
No.
All right. Members of the
Oh,
jury, that means the evidence is closed. We're almost at the end. I have some matters to discuss with the attorneys
oh, come on. What is going on
to
here?
keep you here and try to push through closing arguments and end up working into the night. So I'm going to release you now. I'd like you to come back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. What is going to happen tomorrow morning is we'll all come back into the courtroom. I will give you the jury instructions. The attorneys will deliver their arguments, and then the matter will be handed over to you for your deliberations. Again, the reminders are the same. No independent research or investigation. Do not talk about this case among yourselves or with anybody else. Do not consult news reports or social media posts about this case. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at. Yes. Correction, 8:30. 8:30 tomorrow morning. All right. Anything else? All right, please take the jury out.
All rise for the jury.
Hi, Miss Barbara. Don't need to think. 8:30.
Please be seated. We are outside the presence of the jury. Mr. Nelson, Mr. Trapassi, do you have anything else concerning the evidence? Motions?
Yes, Judge, we would renew the motion that we'd made before. The arguments are the same. I believe the burden is different. And so if Your Honor wants additional arguments, the facts haven't really changed. It's just the burden has.
I think the burden is the same, but the evidence that I can consider has expanded, correct? I can consider the entire body of the evidence, not just what the state offered.
Fair enough.
All right. Mr. Anderson, is there anything that you want to add?
No.
All right. Again, that motion is denied. I stand by my earlier rulings. I think the evidence that has been presented thus far is sufficient to warrant this case going to the jury. This morning, I handed the attorneys rough draft number 3 of the jury instructions. Have you had an opportunity to look at it, or do you need some time?
I need some time.
How much time?
I need to, Judge. I haven't looked at a page of it.
Are we going on the record or not?
Well, I'd really like to get it done if we could. I don't know how much time you need.
I haven't even looked at it. I apologize, but obviously it's been a full day. And so there are 29 pages, you know, can you tell at least 4:15?
Will that be enough time for you?
Well, I'm going to defer to Mr. Anderson. He's looked at them a little closer than I have.
Should be, Judge. I know that the one, it doesn't need to be lengthy, but I think would be appropriate is something on defense of others, because there's testimony that Dante and AJ were defending or responding to Mew punching Maddie when they responded. So
Okay. Let me just kind of recap where I think we are. I had initiated a rough draft of the jury instructions. Includes instructions that I knew were going to be required, ones that I anticipated the attorneys would want, and instructions I thought the evidence would justify. The attorneys and I have discussed the draft. We spoke most recently yesterday. There were some areas where I needed input. I got the input. In the draft you have now, it reflects the changes that we had discussed yesterday. The areas that are in red are areas that remain unresolved from yesterday or were added based on Mr. Anderson's submission late yesterday regarding the lesser included charges for counts 2 through 5. So it should look familiar to everybody, with the exception of the portions in red. Just give me a better understanding about the defense of others instruction, how you see it fitting in, where do you want it?
So the testimony from Dante and AJ was they saw Mew punch Maddie, so they were defending her. So I think the jury should be able to know that not only is it legal, is self-defense legal when justified, so defense of others.
What's your reaction, Mr. Trapassi?
Never heard of an affirmative defense being given in a criminal case for a victim. And I haven't looked at it. It strikes me as completely convoluting everything we're doing. But I would need to know, are they saying that gets rid of the right of self-defense? I don't know what it means in terms of how the jury is supposed to consider that evidence. If they consider that, are they saying, if you find it's defense of others, then self-defense doesn't apply? I don't think it strikes as self-defense.
Yeah. Mr. Anderson, how does it fit into your argument?
I think when I was reading this before, I think there's a spot where it could be added in very succinctly, but I just want to be able to tell the jury that we have these jury instructions in Wisconsin. It's legal to come to the aid of others, and that's exactly what Dante and AJ did. And it also intertwines with.
But has it reflect on Mr. Mew's guilt or not guilt.
His provocation is what responded them to come to the defense of Maddie, and then he starts stabbing people. And they had a legal right to come to her defense under the theory of defense of others.
So
That's his twin?
one question, are you proposing the pattern instruction or do you have something custom made?
I think it could be more succinct. I could come back with a,
Yeah, why don't you do that so that we're all looking at the same language? What did you want to add?
The only way, again, I agree with Mr. Truxey, I just don't see how this comes in. The only way would be as it comes in under that red paragraph on page 3 under provocation in some way, but then it doesn't make sense because the issue is whether Mr. Mew's conduct was unlawful. Whether Dante Carlson's conduct was lawful or unlawful has no bearing whatsoever on whether provocation occurred, and whether Mr. Carlson or AJ Martin's behavior is lawful or defense of others. That has no bearing on Mr. Mew's beliefs or the reasonableness of his beliefs, because there's zero evidence that has been presented that Mr. Mew had any impression, understanding, or knowledge that what was being done to him was legally the defense of others. And so it's irrelevant, it's prejudicial, it's confusing, it has nothing to do with Mr. Mew's beliefs, which this entire case is about.
All right, let's put it on hold. Give me the proposed language that you want to have me consider. I'll give you 20 minutes to review the most recent draft. I'd like to, if we could, I'd like to finish the instruction conference today so that we can come in fresh tomorrow morning. But if the clock prevents us from doing so, we may have to adjourn it till tomorrow morning. So we'll reconvene at 4:15.
And are we on the record at 4:15 or are we?
That's my intention, yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be done for today with this because we're going to hear it all again tomorrow. So tomorrow we got this and we got Daybell trial. Yes, people. And thank you everybody for coming through. Love you all. Amanda, you are funny. I appreciate you too, Grandma. Bye, headline bitch.